Nerdrotic.com.
Greetings, friends. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. My name is Gary Beekler. I am live in San Francisco, California. And we have a lot to talk about today. So let's bring the music down a little bit. One day I'll be able to do this professionally, but why start now? Why even bother? Ay, 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 ay. Make sure my... Hello. And who do we have here? Experium, Mark 63366, Mutated Genome, Mark Lerzeth, Adam Child, Your Dog's News, Apocrypha, Johnny Midnight, Better Pulp Than Literary, Like Hod, Mark Santos, Jason M., Derek Morgan, Matthew Matson, Rick Johnson, Hector Figueroa. I can eventually get there. Indari Senyal Matra. I screwed that one. Sorry. Andrew Griffiths. Nina Infinity. Hi, everybody. Aloha. Como esta? Gary, who did your bumper music? Asked Motolicious for $2. It's on the YouTube free music library. It's called Beam Me Up. I picked that song because I like Secure Team 10's song and I wanted to find something kind of close to that, and it was called Beam Me Up. I thought it was appropriate. So, what do we have to talk about today? So much. Where do we start? The Lord of the Rings casting has been rounded out. It takes place in the Second Age, and we'll discuss how much of the lore they can and may screw up. Is Lord of the Rings next? Is it going to be the next franchise that they gut for identity politics and partisan politics because people require confirmation bias and their personal validity through entertainment? Or will it just be a good show? I hope so. I hope so. The art of speculation. Speculating on YouTube. We're going to talk about that. Why people come to YouTube to listen to people talk. Why we do what we do. Do we actually care, or are we faking it to get subs, clicks? Are we grifting? I find it funny that the Access Media often accuses us of this while I'm fighting my way through the ads on their web pages. Genuineness from a YouTuber. We're going to discuss that. And I'm going to give some unsolicited advice because I've seen a lot of it going around the tubes lately. And I've got my thoughts and opinions on that as well, without breaking my rule of, really, I don't like shitting on my coworkers here. That's the way I look at it. So that's not something I really do. I like to keep my eye on the prize, which is CBS, Disney, the BBC, That's hard enough. So that's all I have time for personally. We're also going to discuss Robert Meyer Burnett's Star Wars leaks. For one, props to Robert Meyer Burnette for breaking that story. I watched his live stream; it was great. Good for him. I'm glad he got the script. If he's convinced it's real, then I'm convinced. Because while, as with everyone on YouTube, I don't agree with everything he says, I genuinely like him as a YouTuber. And I'm going to LA this weekend. I hope to meet with him, sit down, have some coffee, and chat. I think it'll be great. And we're also going to talk about Doctor Who and those sinking ratings and the Rotten Tomatoes scores. And right off the bat, and I talked about this in my, 2 live streams I did Sunday. That was like 10 hours worth of live streamings. So just in case you missed that, I do care about Doctor Who. I am a Doctor Who fan. It's something I personally give a shit about, and I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about on my channel. I don't generally pick topics I don't know anything about or I'm not interested in. If I'm not interested, I won't talk about it. That's it. That's it, dog. I pass up on a lot of stuff because I just don't give a shit. I got to choose my battles. Something you learn when you get as elderly as I do is you choose your battles, and not necessarily the ones you can win. The ones I think I have a case in, I have a stake in. I definitely have investment in Doctor Who, and because I have a voice, I supposedly live in a free country with free speech, I will talk about whatever the F I want to talk about on my channel. As far as other people, other YouTubers having a problem, if you are just a viewer, and if you have a problem with what we talk about, you could just not tune in. I mean, it's that simple. Other YouTubers, different story. I don't know why so many of them are so concerned with what I'm saying, what other people are saying in and outside the fandom menace. Don't worry about it. Mind your business. It doesn't matter if we disagree on a movie. If we disagree in a movie, we disagree in a movie. But don't try to project, because that's generally what it is. I find that 100% of the time when somebody starts going out there and making videos about particular YouTubers, it's really about their own channel. So that's the deal. And that, honestly, and there are 2 separate audiences here on YouTube. There is the video audience and the live stream audience, and they are separate. And they have separate tastes. And generally, the video audience don't like the drama. They don't. So that's that, at least in my sphere. And that's the only one I'm really worried about. But let's get to the Lord of the Rings first. The Lord of the Rings. Greatest trilogy of all time. I'm sure there's some arguments there, but you'd be wrong. And we'll go to Entertainment Weekly, but they have a trailer playing, so I got to watch it. Let's just make sure that's paused before I share it. I got a copyright claim on one of those once. I do like the feature on YouTube where you can cut it out now. I think that's pretty cool. And it saves a lot of drama on my end for sure. So I'm going to go over there and then we'll get to you. Okay. We will get to you. First things first. Let's get to this. Sorry. Well, I'm on the wrong page there. There we go. Now we got it. There we go. Okay. So we have Entertainment Weekly, Lord of the Rings TV series confirms main cast meet the Fellowship. Well, see, that's not entirely true because there is no Fellowship. And I think that might be triggering some people, and it should, but they're not remaking Lord of the Rings. They can't remake Lord of the Rings, and that is a stipulation from the Tolkien estate. They are concentrating on the second age. Now, they could certainly do some mucking around, and what I've heard, what I've been told and what I've read is they can't change anything about anybody's backstory. So they can't say Aragon had two fathers or something like that. But, who knows? I know that Amazon has a time frame to make this series. They've already had to delay it or the rights revert back. Now, maybe the stipulation was it has to be in production. The Tolkien estate signed a pretty sweet deal with Amazon, $500 million. It is the most expensive endeavor ever in television, even though it's technically streaming. So Amazon has assembled its fellowship. At long last, the main cast of the Lord of the Rings TV series has officially been assembled by the streaming platform. Now, before I go any farther, and I'm sure many, many, many of you know this, the Lord of the Rings is Sauron. So if you're going to have a Lord of the Rings TV show, then it's got to be about Sauron. Sauron the Deceiver. There's many forms of Sauron through the ages. And he wasn't always the big bad. As a matter of fact, he was second fiddle for a long time. So at long last, okay. Entertainment Weekly previously reported Game of Thrones vet Robert Aramayo. We all know him as Now It Tens. Now It Tens. If you were on the Free Folk Reddit, that was quite the meme for a while. Would star in the leading role as Beldor, and the casting was confirmed during Tuesday's Television Critics Association presentation, along with 14 others. I like the casting. I thought the kid did a decent job in Game of Thrones with what little work he did, but I was convinced he was a young Ned Stark. I mean, a little on the thin side, a little on the wafy side. Sean Bean's a little more, shall we say, beta, or not beta, alpha. I'm sorry. A Confessions Owain author, Hotel Mombe Nuzani Bandali, The Propositions Tom Budge, His Dark Materials Morfid Clark, The Undoings Ishmael Cruz Cordova, last seen in The Mandalorian, The Gallows Act 2's Emma Harvoth, The Cries Markella Kavanaugh, I can read. Birdsong's Joseph Mowell and Trioi Muhadafin of web series Caravan, stage actor Sophie Nomvet Nomvit, and Wonderlust's Megan Richards. I Am the Night's Dylan Smith, Medici Masters of Florence's Charles Vickers, and A Very English Scandal, Daniel Wayman were also confirmed. There's a tweet out there with everybody's picture. I'm going to have to find that. After undertaking an extensive global search, we are delighted to finally reveal the first group of brilliant performers who will take part in Amazon's The Lord of the Rings series. J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay said in a statement. Now, J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay are who we have to talk about in just a moment, because that's the biggest problem I have with this series. These exceptionally talented women and men are more than just our actors. They are the newest members of an ever-expanding creative family that is now working tirelessly to bring Middle-earth to life anew for fans and audiences worldwide. I have no problem with somebody saying women and men. Considering what's going on in Hollywood right now, you have to acknowledge it, okay? But it's fine. I don't care. The TV series is set during the Second Age of Middle-earth, taking place long before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings books trilogy and the adventures of Aragorn, Gandalf, and Frodo Baggins. A Middle-earth map released by Amazon in March showed the lost island of Numenor. So they're going to show the Numenorians. Which is the race of kings, ladies and gentlemen, the race of kings. I wonder how that's going to play here in modern times, which I will get to, which suggests it will have some role to play in the show. Numenor is like Atlantis, we'll put it that way. And the more you learn about the Lord of the Rings, the more you realize how many great films and books have borrowed from J.R.R. Tolkien, including Star Wars and A Song of Ice and Fire. And of course, George R. R. Martin has made no secret about it. So, The Lord of the Rings was given an early season 2 renewal, as with every single major show in the streaming wars we'll get. This is nothing new. Picard just got one. Star Trek Discovery got one. They all get renewed early because they put a lot of money into these things, and they have to work. And honestly, it shows how other shows have been completely robbed, because you do need 2 seasons to know if your show is working or not. You can't figure it out in one. I don't care who the hell you are. Firefly is one to mention. So yeah, getting a season 2 renewal is great, and it's nothing new. And honestly, it's not that impressive. It's a marketing tool to make to show that there's success, because the normie will go, "Hey, it got a season 2. It must be good." That's exactly why they're doing it. They can always just scrap production. It doesn't harm anything by them going out and saying, "Yep, we're going to renew it." We're going to talk about Star Trek Section 31 in a little bit, and I'll talk about the bullshit that's going on with that. Oh my God. A Clownfish TV video just started playing on my phone, like out of nowhere. That was cool. Little plug for Clownfish. We love Clownfish TV. I like that music a lot. So, where was I? I lost my place now. Which came with the The Lord of the Rings was given an early season 2 renewal, which came with the delay of season 1 as the writers worked out the additional scripts. Jurassic World's Fallen Kingdom Helmer J.A. Boyana directs the first 2 episodes, serving as executive producers alongside Payne McKay and Boyana are Lindsay Weber, 10 Cloverfield Lane, remember that, Bruce Richmond, Game of Thrones, Gene Kelly, Boardwalk Empire, Sharon Tal-Yagato, Jennifer Hutchinson, Breaking Bad, and Jason Cahill, The Sopranos, and Justin Doble, Stranger Things. I think the good outweighs the bad, because 10 Cloverfield Lane is Bad Robot, and Payne and McKay are from Bad Robot. There is a lot of people from Bad Robot working on this show. That is not good. That is not good. That is very, very bad. So, hi. How's it going? Yeah, I think it was just some guy's tweet. He's got, hang on, just some guy, Twitter. He had a salty tweet about this. There it is. And I by the way, I love Just Some Guy. I think he's a very, very good YouTuber. Nothing bad to say about him at all. And there we go. Here is the cast. Okay. Ah, shite. What did I just do? There we go. So we have a couple of recognizable faces. Okay, so we have the second from the left, the young lady there. I'm gonna sound like an old man. She's from Counterpart. She was very good in Counterpart. Very, very good. Of course, we got now a tens. Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out the rest of the cast here. Hang on. I got a message coming in. I got my phone is... God damn it. Jesus Christ with this fucking phone. Hang on. Sorry. I have a message coming in that I got to get right now. Okay. Now I'm back. All right. So we have Ned Stark. We have the lady from Counterpart. I'm blanking on her name now. She was great. We have Benjen Stark. And it looks like a pretty decent cast. Of course, you know, they're going to mix it up a little bit, folks. We're going to get a little diversity in Lord of the Rings. And if it's elves and they're from Numenor, you know, listen, I don't care. I honestly don't care. I just want a good show. And if the characters do well in their parts, that's all I give a crap about. If they were the best actor for the job, period, that's it. I think that's a pretty consistent argument. I have no real problem with the cast. We'll have to wait and see on this one. But my biggest concern is with the producers, who are heavily involved with bad reboot, which tends to like to fill their stuff with identity politics. If they do that with this, if they do this with Lord of the Rings, I will dedicate my channel to that. I will be pissed. I have made no secret about this. This will become the Get Lord of the Rings off of Amazon channel. I promise you. But if it's good, I'll tell you it's good. It's no problem. But you know what? There's no problem with speculating. There's no problem with just some guy's tweet here. Lord of the Rings has found its fellowship, and he, I forgot what he said now. Dang it. There he goes. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to skip this. Changing scenes and adding in events that didn't happen in the books because it works in the film is one thing. Changing characters' race is what's basically English Celtic mythology in another. Oh, and I am black. Go F yourself in advance. Yes. And he is not wrong on this one. So the Lord of the Rings, you know when we say modern mythology, folks, this is literally, it's like literally our modern mythology. J.R.R. Tolkien did not set out to create essentially the fantasy genre. He set out to give the English their own mythology because it had been taken from them because of the multiple invasions. It's right on his Wikipedia, and he's talked about it. And there are people who know way more than I do. If you want a good Lord of the Rings lore channel, go to Men of the West. They are the experts, and I refer you to them on all the Second Age stuff. That's stuff I'm still learning, okay? But I'm a huge fan of the movies, huge fan of the books, read the book a lot. I've read it more than The Hobbit. I've read The Hobbit like a couple times. I like it, but I love Lord of the Rings. But this is English mythology, British mythology, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. That's what it was made out to be. So as long as they keep that respect, because the thing is, I think you should respect everybody's mythology, but I think you can also have fun in Hollywood. I think there is a happy medium to be found. I think a lot of what we're trying to do here in the Fandom Menace, and what I'm trying to do is get back to that happy medium. That doesn't always get achieved, but it doesn't mean you don't try. It doesn't mean you don't try, and it doesn't mean you don't speculate on this. And if you think this is going to be some woke crap, then you have every right to think that. You want to know why? Because we've gotten a lot of woke crap lately. And a message to anybody criticizing me for forming an opinion on Star Trek Picard before it comes out. I haven't formed an opinion on the show itself yet. It was CBS who came out and had Patrick Stewart give an interview that alienated half your fan base. That's what I was talking about. And within that interview, we were given information about the show that I don't like. We're going to get a darker Federation, maybe the destruction of the Federation. And the reason we're doing this is because the writers aren't talented. It's very easy to go dark and subvert everything. That is the most basic bitch thing you can do. It's been done to death. It was something edgy and original in the effing 80s, folks. Especially in comic books. People have been trying to Watchmen everything since Watchmen came out. And quite frankly, it's so old and tired. It would be interesting to actually make something fun and thrilling again. That would be getting edgy nowadays. But you know what? A lot of the writers in Hollywood can't do it. They're too jaded. Whatever the hell's wrong with them, I don't know. They're too jaded. Lord of the Rings is something that is basic good versus evil. So if you start, I don't know, and listen, they played with this a little bit in The Hobbit, and that's why a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it. They played with a lot of things in The Hobbit, and they made it too fucking long. Now J.R.R. Tolkien isn't a basic writer, and there are some very interesting characters that are really fleshed out. He did a lot of things first. It just came out in 1955. That's all. It was of its time, but ahead of its time at the same time. So if you start mucking around and making a Breaking Bad Lord of the Rings, it's great that the Breaking Bad producers are there. They produced a very, very good TV show, but I don't know if their talents line up with Lord of the Rings. Same goes for one of the co-showrunners of Lost is running Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's about the worst person you could find to run Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. For one, he's an American bloke, which is, I mean, Hitchhiker needs British people running it, British people acting in it. No Americans anywhere, just like Doctor Who used to be. So you can't do that with the Lord of the Rings. And hopefully Tom Shippey is there, who's their consultant, who's keeping them in line. I just don't know how much power he has. Or did they just hire him to give it legitimacy? I don't know. I hope not. I hope the contract is very strict with what they can do. Now, and this, you know what? Show your talents. Make something fun, thrilling, and interesting. That's it. Because we've already lost that with Star Trek. The only reason Sir Patrick Stewart came back, he said it in his interview, I'm just going off of what he said. The only reason he came back was to subvert the Federation. That was it. That's not Star Trek anymore. It's Kurtzman Trek. And that's all I said in my video. If that bothers people, listen, I didn't make a show bad. I didn't make Doctor Who bad. If you want to complain about, go talk to the creators. I'm just talking about how I feel about the show. Let's get to you. By the way, follow Just Some Guy. Subscribe to Just Some Guy. He's a great YouTuber. One of the best comic book YouTubers out there. Let me get rid of this window. All right. I'm honestly sick of the woke shite. Does anyone agree? I really hope they don't ruin this show, says Polly Pipes. Yeah, everybody's sick of it. And that's why in the title it says Doctor Who and Star Trek Picard are out of time. Meaning they're out of time. Not out of literal time. They're out of sync. Out of time. Time's up. They are behind the times. They are operating on 2016, 2017 trends, which change much faster nowadays. We are no longer in the 20th century where trend cycles will end after 10 years. They're ending faster now, and you have to turn stuff around faster or you risk looking dated. That's why you don't want to make stuff like Star Trek, Doctor Who. You don't want to place it too much in one particular time. There's overall issues like war is bad, genocide bad. I mean, that stuff you can always do. That's fine. But if you start putting in dated material, then your show looks dated, and then they don't last. Both shows have dealt with politics, I thought, very well in the past, and they haven't in the last couple of years. My politics haven't changed over the last 10 years, but the shows have. And there's a lot of false assumptions made about people in the chat. Yours truly. Hang on, I got something in my eye. All right. That didn't help, but I'll just have to live with it. I talked to Tom Shippey, and while he is muzzled by an NDA, he also said he thought his influence was very limited. Says Ed Powell for $10. That's not encouraging at all. Let's see if there's something on the Lord of the Rings deal with Amazon. We could skip that. All right, I got something here. We can check this out real quick. God dang it. I hate having something in my eye during a live stream. That's awesome. I have dogs. Okay, so it's probably like a dog hair. IndieWire, The Lord of the Rings, everything you need to know about Amazon's big money adaptation. Production of Amazon's long-awaited multi-season television adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings will begin soon, while Amazon has become an Emmys juggernaut with more intimate series like Fleabag and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Those kind of character-based stories are not all the streaming service does. Now, we know that, blah, 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 but we know, I just want to see how much the deal is. Both sides of the story. Okay, so chances are fairly high you already know about the source material of this particular Amazon series. But in case you don't, Amazon's The Lord of the Rings is by blah, blah, blah. Okay, both of these stories exist in the world of mythical creatures such as wizards, dwarves, elves, orcs, and of course, hobbits. The Hobbit follows the titular Hobbit Bilbo Baggins as he embarks. We know about that. Are hobbits going to be in this? I don't know. As mentioned, out of total, I don't care about this. To this day, I don't care. It's actually a prequel series. Okay, when the Amazon was originally announced, there was an assumption this was going to be related to the trilogy of books, just like the movies. But then in March, it was confirmed the series would actually be a prequel series with rumors swirling around. It would center on a young Aragorn. No, it won't. It won't. However, in the lead up to the confirmation, Middle-earth maps posted on the official Amazon Lord of the Rings Twitter profile showed islands that would have only existed long before the character's time. Though the show will feature the island of Numenor and home of Aragorn's ancestors. Now, I think that's really interesting. The good side of this is we're going to see Sauron. We're going to see Sauron, the Deceiver. We're going to, because he was still, so he could change his appearance. If you don't know, he could change his appearance prior to the island of Numenor falling, and the destruction of Numenor. I don't want to totally spoil it for you, but so he basically he can look like an elf, and there was a deleted scene where you saw like one of the original, appearances of Sauron, and he looked like an elf. But that's just one of his appearances. He's other things. For reference, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings novel and film trilogy are set thousands of years after the Second Age. Toward the end of the Third Age, the Second Age, on the other hand, is most notable for being the time period where Sauron, the titular Lord of the Rings, and very integral to the Second Age, created the One Ring to rule all of the other rings of power. By the time Smeagol had came across the ring, it had been lost for 2,000 years. If you're wondering how much ground can be covered in the series, the Second Age and its setting, note that the Second Age spans 3,441 years. So I am guessing it will deal with maybe lead up to the destruction of Numenor. Maybe not. I don't know. I hope it's good. I want it to be good. Just like I want Star Trek Picard to be good. That's my desire. And I hadn't made a video until I made that video. By the way, the reason I'm talking about it is I read the comments, and I don't take them to heart. I don't take mean tweets to heart. I don't. It's just funny that after, and I knew this was going to happen, after spending a good month straight on Star Wars, honestly, the Star Wars fans are nice compared to Star Trek and Doctor Who fans. Star Wars fans, it's a much bigger fandom, and quite frankly, they are easygoing compared to Star Trek and Doctor Who fans. It's funny. I did not get threatened once by a Star Wars fan. Not that I saw. Not once did I get threatened. So, and listen, it's an anonymous, it's probably a 12-year-old, so I'm not worried about it. I'm really not. I walked around freely at Star Trek Las Vegas. Any of these Drekkies had ample opportunity to come up to me and tell me to my face on the 5 days I was there. Same with Tom, same with Rob, same with Mecca. They had plenty of opportunity to come and tell us how they felt about us. And you know what happened? Nothing. And I was at Comic-Con with Jeremy for a week. They had plenty of time to come and talk to us and come to our 3 public meetups that we tweeted about, and we heard nothing. So I expect when I go to Gallifrey 1 in about a month, I will hear nothing. I will hear nothing. Gandalf the gay, no. They're not going to make Gandalf a woman. I already did a video about that. I know they would try. Well, you know what? Here's the sad thing. They kind of technically can. I talked about it in my video. So Gandalf is a starry, and he's like, they could say he's an ethereal being of no gender. I guess they could, unless he's specifically a male as a starry, and they could say he walked the second age as a woman. God, they would probably try. So I probably shouldn't give them any ideas, but goddamn, I'll be so pissed. I will be so pissed. Leave fucking Lord of the Rings alone. Leave it alone. You've already fucked up enough. I hope you're happy. All you do is destroy. Destroy. All right, let's get to you guys. What's up, according to Christy? Thank you for the wrench. Man, was the heater on? It's fracking hot in here. Oh, man, here's my man, Thundercats Ho. By the way, Thundercats Ho, thank you for bringing to my attention that made my week that William Shatner called me a whiny fanboy. Did he say basement? No, he didn't say basement, but he called me a whiny fanboy, and I take exception to that, by the way. By the way, it made my week. I tweeted back to him, I have nothing but love for Shatner. He's going to protect the property he stars in, and that's his meal ticket. I completely understand if there's some angry nerd talking about one of the shows, but I was showing him respect in the video, and I will continue to show him respect. I know, I mean, I paid $500 to have a picture taken with him, me and Mrs. Nerdrotic at Star Trek Las Vegas. I'll never do that shit again, by the way, but he's getting up there in age. I wanted to meet the Shat. So I hoard out a little bit and paid $200 for it. So what? But thanks, Thundercat Ho. £2, a small token of thanks to keep the meter running. Thank you, Thundercats Ho. I appreciate it. Now, so William Shatner tweeted about me, and I will say that I am a fan man. William Shatner, I am a fan man. I own my basement, okay? I own my basement. I don't live with my mother. I haven't lived with my mother since I was 15, buddy. Mexican Iron Man for $9.99. Good morning and hail. Here's coffee money to fire up my Bay Area SF post-apocalyptic governor and Imperial Emperor. Wait, you also owned a comic shop in Tijuana too? Aha, yes, I did. Yes, Crisis on Infinite Tijuanas. If I owned a comic shop in Tijuana, that's what it would be called. May your next crisis be in Tijuana, Mexican Iron Man. Or Mexicali. I don't know. You can pick. Andrew Brown for $1.99 playing The Witcher 3. Still try Shadows of Mordor War for Lord of the Rings. I am going to try Shadows of Mordor. I saw Ryan Cannell talking about it in a chat I'm part of, and it kind of got me interested. And yes, I'm going to play The Witcher 3. I am, after this live stream, I'm going to make a video. I don't know what I'm making a video on yet. Maybe it's Lord of the Rings. Who knows? I don't know. See, because when I make videos, I have to find something I actually give a shit about. And if I don't find anything, I don't make a video. We're going to get to that later. But that's not a judgment on other YouTubers. I'm talking, you know what? Unlike the YouTubers, I'll be specific on who I'm talking about. But it'll be respectful. So, and it's just talking about their argument, not them, the person, or their channel. Period. Gaming or what? Trademark, $5. Hail Gary. Thank you. Thank you. By the way, 2 channels I talk about, I subscribe to, I will remain subscribed to them. I like their content a lot. But, me and Mrs. Nerdrotic don't agree on everything either. Galactic Dude for $10. The 2 black Lord of the Ring actors they announced are can play as an orc. I don't think they will. Haradrim or Easterling. They could play it. Yes. I don't think they'll play an orc though. I just think that would not be the best optics in the world. Because that was a criticism I heard for Lord of the Rings back in the day, not much. And it was from people, people just like to criticize things. And they try to read way too much into things. Anything outside of that will be outside of canon. I will not Lord of the Rings if they don't follow canon. Galactic Dude, you're right about the Numenorians. You are. And the elves as well. But I guarantee you they'll probably have diverse elves. There are different elves for sure. But I can't say I know all of it off the top of my head, but I know some. Like, especially there was a divergence in the elves that were leaving and some of them ended up in Mirkwood. So yeah, again, there's actually a video on Men of the West about it. Daniel for $50. I appreciate what a big fan of Lord of the Rings you are. Tolkien gave me something to share in common with my father. It shaped the path I took since childhood. I have no hope at all that it will be respected. Everything sacred is being destroyed by repurposers. Yeah, my hope, Daniel, is at 15%. And that's because Tom Shippey is there. And that's it. But I'm not going to get my hopes up to have them dashed again by some jackass at Bad Reboot. The last time I trusted them was Westworld. And, oh, by the way, we got an announcement. Westworld is coming out in March. So we are 2 months away from Westworld Season 3. I will be covering it, and we'll see if it gets better. See, I like Jonathan Nolan. I do. I think he's a great TV writer. I'm not too sure about Lisa Joy. And I think, I don't know, I could be wrong about this, but season 1 of Westworld was a lot different from season 2. And I think one might have taken the lead on one and one might have taken lead on the other. I could be wrong. But they both did a good job in season 1 and they both did a shitty job in season 2. It was a deconstruction of everything. And I know they changed their plan because they said they did. They had another plan for the series. And then they delayed the second season because they rewrote a bunch of stuff to make it for the Time's Up era. Modalicious for $2. Gary, who did your bumper music, and I did answer that. Thank you. Again, it's on the YouTube free library. It's called Beam Me Up. Darkinian for £2. The first female doctor played by Sigourney Weaver. That would be better. I would rather have her play Romana. Yeah, I would rather have her play Romana. Tyrone Beard, welcome to the proto-molecule level. I appreciate it. Yeah, again with Doctor Who. If you guys don't mind a female doctor, I mean, that's great. That's great. Here's the way I see it. The excuses they made it canon. It worked for Missy. And it did work for Missy. And it could work for a female doctor if written well. I think anything can work if it's written well. But that's not the reason they made the decision. That we knew that when they made this decision, it would be they would saddle Jodie Whittaker with a bunch of wokeness, which just makes it an uphill battle for her. I'm not saying it's not impossible, but I'm not interested. Because I can go to Marvel Comics and I can make a canon that Spider-Man can turn into Spider-Woman, that Peter Parker can change into a woman. You can make it canon. You can make anything canon. It's make-believe. But it just doesn't work. The show has a foundation in its past. It's got 50 years of a particular type of character. You can certainly mix up that lead character. I was expecting them not to have a white doctor, and of course that's okay. Of course it's okay. And that's what I'm getting. I mean, I don't think it's going out on a limb and saying that that's probably what they're going to do next. And good. I don't know if I'm going to want to go back to the show after this, though, because I don't know. I would still come back if they ended Jodie's reign now, like after season 2. They ended it, but they're not going to, folks. We're getting a season 3, and it doesn't really matter how far the ratings go down. At least that's what I've been told. This thing is set in stone. So these ratings can go to nothing, and they are not going to bail out on Jodie for a third season because they honestly want to save face. It really is. It's truly about agenda with Doctor Who. It's not about storytelling anymore. And that's why I'm going to chronicle its demise. But I mean, I'm out. I don't give them any of my money anymore. I don't buy anything firsthand anymore. I'm done. And there are consequences for this, and they're starting to feel it. I don't think the repurposers out there really understood. Well, I know they didn't understand fandom, and they don't understand like how long we hold grudges. It's a long time. Mike Ayers for $1.99. Sup? What's up? Welcome. Thank you. Cracklin for $1.99. Would you? Who would you pick to play Gandalf? Ricky Gervais? I would not pick Ricky Gervais, Cracklin. Ricky Gervais could play Hobbit, for sure. I can't imagine anybody but Ian McKellen as Gandalf. He is Gandalf. Nobody else plays Gandalf for the rest of time, period. At least for 50 years. And I'll be dead and gone, and you can cast Gandalf. Ian McKellen is a perfect Gandalf. I don't care about the Oscars, but he should have won an Oscar, definitely for Fellowship. Fellowship for sure. And for Return of the King. His performance in all three movies were Oscar caliber. And you got to ask yourself, what's Oscar caliber? I always see it as timeless. Like, you're going to remember this role forever. So I want anybody to try to remember who won Best Supporting Actor over Ian McKellen those 3 years. I guarantee you, unless you're a complete movie nerd, you don't know. I don't know. And it's forgotten. It's in some drama where a bunch of people were sad sitting around tables and there was a bad father and alcoholism. That's probably the movie that won the Best Actor, or somebody playing somebody retarded. That was it. Instead of, going into a completely different world, building a different world. That's what filmmaking is. That's what I go for anyway. All three movies should have swept. They didn't. Fuck the Oscars. I'm very happy that the Joker won awards I don't give a shit about anymore. They're not. And listen, that's the reason Joker was nominated, folks. They're trying to win us back. They are trying to win us back. How dare they? They went against the Access media and some of the overlords in Hollywood. They're going to give awards to a director that called out woke culture. Why do you think they're fucking doing that? Because the tide's turning, folks. Dave Chappelle effect. So good for Joker. And if it turns shit around, great. But I ain't buying it yet. Echo Base Network for $4.99. We are trying to save our dog's eye. What? We need less than $2,500 more for our GoFundMe. If anyone is interested, details are on our page. Thank you. Yeah. What happened to your dog's eye? DM me that on Twitter, Echo Base. Or if one of the mods can put that link in there. Yeah, I don't know. I'll make an exception for this case. I have kind of new rules when it comes to GoFundMes. I don't back them unless I know everything about them. I am currently behind the one for Geeks and Gamers where they're trying to help some kids in El Salvador build a school. Drunk 3PO's doing that. I'm down with that, and I'll be down with this. But any other one, I didn't have a very good experience with something, so I am going to completely vet anything before I shout it out. That's the way it's got to go. Because I had not a very good experience. We'll just say. Christy Solis for $1. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Christy. Big Red Bear. It's good to see you. I like the hat. Big Red Bear for 2 Canadian pesos. Stop attacking who? Stop it. It's against the law. It might be. Listen, I'm not getting totally attacked. I'm getting like, you're trash. One guy tweeted at me and said, okay, boomer. And I called him a poser. I did respond to that one. Another guy last night said, I said I was going to Gallifrey 1. And he said, so you can find another way to slag off the show. And I shot him back the definition of slag, which is actually a derogatory term towards women. And I told him Jodie would not be proud of him for that statement. Be better. Be better. That's what Jody said. Charles Thompson for $5. Ugh, this is a disaster in the making. Letting Hollywood fill in the blanks for Tolkien's world is worrisome. It should be against the law, to be honest with you. It's beyond worrisome. It's beyond worrisome. The cast looks okay. I was expecting worse, to be honest with you. We will see. I will give you an example of something I thought would be complete woke trash and wasn't, and I ended up liking it, despite woke elements. The Witcher. I thought The Witcher was going to completely suck. I'll be honest with you. I had no hopes that that was going to be good whatsoever. And I wasn't feeling great about it in the first couple episodes. Then I watched it all the way through, and it grew on me, and I like it quite a bit. The first episode, though, is woke as hell. The first episode is completely woke. But it makes up for it in the end, in my opinion. Especially when the girl named Melk, I forgot what her name was, in Blavica, is talking to Geralt, and she's like, I want more. I want more out of life. And it's like, what little peasant girl says that to a warrior? Like, unsolicited. You know what the warrior's going to say? Shut up, little girl. Shut up. Especially after she killed her dog. What a biatch. Then she betrays Geralt at the end. And that's the showing the other side. They didn't show her as beautiful, stunning, and brave. They showed her as a duplicitous kind of biatch, which I thought was good. Seahawk Scott for $5. I don't know. One season of Batwoman seems to be sufficient. I agree with you, Seahawk Scott. I think we don't need another one. But that will be another one I don't cover. See? For those of you who, I could cover every single episode of Batwoman. I would get bunches of clicks, bunches of subs, but that means I would have to sit through each episode twice, and seriously, I try to take it. Listen, I'm not a critic. I'm just a guy with an opinion. Okay, that's it. I'm not a news source. I'm just a guy with an opinion, but I try to take it seriously when I review a show. I try to watch it twice unless I'm doing it live. And if I'm doing a video, I watch it 2 to 3 times. So I give the show a chance, no matter what it is. I don't even want to give that show a chance. It's so bad. It's just garbage. But CW announced a Superman show, and it's like, God dang it. I don't even like that Superman very much, but I like Superman. So I'm probably going to have to try it. No, I'm going to hate it, though. I know I'm going to hate it. I know. But I'll try it. Scott Williams for $5. It just dawned on me that Bad Robot is a good name because you're a legion of Borg assimilating fandom into crap. Very good point, Scott. That's a very good point. You are right. Thank you. Captain Spire for $2 says, Anti-Trekker really waiting for a reply from you. Reply from what? Did he DM me? Where is it? Here, I'll check my, I heard him talking about me when I was listening to the live stream today. Let me see. When we don't shoot, you're here all Monday. We can do lunch. Hang on. All right. So, I'm looking for Anti-Trekker. So I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter. My DMs are open, and it's a mess. It's a goddamn mess. So Anti-Trekker has somebody working for him. I don't. It's just me. So I don't catch everything. I try, but I am one person right now. Let's see. So I have to send him a message. All right. Skywalker. I think it would be good for okay, I'm hi. Responding. Get you on soon. So Anti-Trekker wants to be on Friday Night Tights. And it looks like he wants to take the other side because he liked the Fall of Skywalker. Okay, sure. I mean, I just don't want it to be a situation where it's like 5-on-1 because that's what it'll be. That's what it'll be. So maybe we should do a 1-on-1 thing on the Nooner or something. But yeah, I'll get that. Per Odyssia, I'm sorry, that's Greek. Per Odyssia ad ignotum for $10. Sorry, but there were no brown people in Middle Earth at this time. Diversity. There was the Easterlings, right? But during the Second Age, I don't know. I honestly don't know. That I'll have to look up. It's English. Okay, I'll just come back. It's English mythology. It's white people. It's white people. You're not going to get a show with all white people anymore. It's just not going to happen. Even if it's proper mythology, you're just not going to get it. So you have to ask yourself, if I can't properly adapt the material, should I even try? The answer to this one is no. I would say most everything else, yes. You should always try because you can work. I mean, like, you can make something good. You can make anything work if you're good enough. This one, though, I don't think so. For one, fantasy is a genre that's hard enough as it is. Without any restrictions, it is the hardest genre to get people into. Peter Jackson worked a goddamn Hollywood miracle by making The Lord of the Rings the best trilogy of all time. Will not be equaled, ever. I don't think they're going to be able to pull this off. It's a TV show. For one, it's going to be expensive as hell. And if people don't watch it right away, they will pull the plug on that thing. It's getting 2 seasons, but that's and then they cancel it and they go, we only planned for 2 seasons. But this is the only, Amazon is the only place it could work. For one, it started out as a bookseller. I think that does matter. Jeff Bezos has more money than God. That matters. It would not work on Netflix or CBS All Access or HBO or Disney or anywhere else. Amazon is the only place it would work because they have that much money. If it doesn't work there, it's never going to work. And I don't think it's going to work because they got 2 of the worst showrunners possible. They have no fucking experience at all. Go look at their IMDb's. They're empty. They're empty. Let's go. I'll go to right now. I'll show you. Which tells me they have people working behind the scenes helping them. Give me just a second. Ring showrunner. JD Payne. Okay, we'll go to JD Payne. Let's start right there. IMDb. Somebody started an IMDb for me, by the way. It wasn't me. All right. Are you ready to be blown away by JD Payne's IMDb, the showrunner of the most expensive TV show and the most important property out there that hasn't been completely fucked up by the morons in Hollywood? Here it is. This is JD Payne's IMDb. There you go. And he's working on another show. Yeah, this show's fucked. Now, if he comes out and he's good, he has all my respect. And listen, if it's good, I will admit it's good. If the Fall of Skywalker was a good film objectively, I would have told you if I liked it, even despite it being good or not, if I liked it, I would tell you. The minute I start having to fake shit for this channel, I will quit. Because I won't be able to do it. I won't be able to do it. But we will get into the unsolicited advice, and some of it is going to go right to our boy Annie Trekker. For one, I was trying to catch some Z's this morning. I was up super late last night. And I listen to live streams while I'm sleeping, and I always listen to Andy Trekker when he's live. I listen to him all the time. I have unconditional love for Andy Trekker. So I hear Nerdrotic. I'm like, oh God, I'm trying to sleep. And he's yelling, and I'm like, what the hell is he yelling about? And I guess he DM'd me or something, and I don't know if he was talking about me or not, but he said, like, if you're hating on Fall of Skywalker for 2 years, of course you're gonna not like it. You prepared yourself to not like it. You shouldn't report on leaks. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about this. So yeah, we got Lord of the Rings, Star Trek Beyond, which he was an uncredited writer on, Flash Gordon, early screenplay, and that's it. And it's the same for the other dude. It's the absolute same for the other dude. If we go to... we got a Patrick McKay. And... oh, look. It's almost like they're the same person. I wonder if they're Jar Jar Abrams. They did... so Star Trek Beyond, they were supposed to work on Star Trek 4. They were supposed to be the screenplay writers for Star Trek 4 bad reboot. That has now been removed from their IMDb. But this is it, folks. I'm not encouraged. I am not encouraged. But if I'm wrong, I will admit it. If it's a good show, all's I'll be is happy. That's it. And I'll review every show. I will give every show a fair shot, as I have previously. So, we'll get to you guys in just a second. We will address the unsolicited advice on YouTube, because I can talk about whatever I want on my channel. It's great. Sorry to bore you with this, but it's kind of in my sphere. So I watched a Comics Matter with your boy Zach video. He's one of the earliest people I subscribed to. He is an inspiration to this channel. Just to let you know. And Anti-Trekker, I've been subscribed for a long time to Anti-Trekker. I think right around his Last Jedi review is when I subscribed to Anti-Trekker. Okay. So both of them have said similar things. Zach came out with a video. I shared it with my patrons last night, saying that he's going to, get off. He's going to cancel. YouTube has been so bad, it makes him want to re-up his cable. Which is a funny, cute title. And then he's already made another video on some pro tips for a creator. You notice I don't do those videos. I don't like giving unsolicited advice, but I've seen some bad advice going around, in my opinion. So I would just like to speak to that. That's all. And believe me, they can have their opinions, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Sometimes there's bad content on YouTube. When I subscribe to a lot of people, I do. I watch as much as I can. It's not always great. I don't unsubscribe. I just don't. I don't have a limit of people I can subscribe to. I don't have this bag that gets too full of subscriptions and I need to empty it out or clear out my feed. Whatever. There's an easy way to cure out your feed. Your feed curates based on what you watch. And that's what the bell is there for too. And I think about it every day. Like, I spent all of December talking about Star Wars. I don't think I've ever spent an entire month just talking about one thing before. Not really. I like to mix it up. I do. Because I just don't care that much. I like a lot. I like a lot of things. I have, I think, pretty broad taste. That's why I was able to successfully sell comic books for a long time, because I didn't have this I don't know. I didn't have closed-minded taste. My taste, I was pretty open-minded when it comes to stories. I'll check out everything, and I like a lot. I do. That tells you how bad things are. So there was a time there where there wasn't a comic I didn't like. There was a good 5-year run in the early aughts where the comics, that was the best era for writing ever in comics, was 2005 to 2011. Best era ever. There were so many good comics out there. And I didn't even get to read them all. That's the thing. That I could still go back and read them, but that era will not be equaled. It was so goddamn good. It was a golden age. It was another mini golden age that we're never going to see again. And we could get that out of the streaming wars, but I digress. Sometimes topics just change. Sometimes it's slow news. It's not for me. Actually, I was getting ready for this month prior to Star Wars because Doctor Who and Star Trek look like they're going to fail at the same time. Holy shit, that's going to suck. But they're on at the same time. Those are two shows that I've covered for a long time on this channel. My Doctor Who coverage goes way back to when I started. And Star Trek, I was covering it from the premiere of Star Trek Discovery. I was live the night it aired. I went live right after the show aired. And I've been covering ever since. But sometimes, subjects change, you shift. But what I don't assume is my taste is everybody else's taste. So I don't assume that if I'm tired of something, that means the rest of the world is tired of it. And that's kind of what Zach was projecting there, was that he's tired of stuff, so therefore everything else must be tired for everybody. Doesn't really work that way. I often saw that again in the comic shop. During that that great era of writing, I would have customers come in and just bitch about every comic. They fucking hated every single comic. And I went and I'd sit down and they're friends and I'm all, did you ever think that maybe comic books aren't for you anymore? Because this is really great writing. And me and this guy were the same age. I'm like, I mean, tastes are different and everything, but I think everything is spectacular right now. And you think everything sucks. And he genuinely did. And what happened was he wasn't into comics anymore. He just wasn't into them. He outgrew them. They weren't doing it for him anymore. And I would do that. I would actually do that. My business was pretty good. And I would see my subscribers come in and habitually buying and start buying these stacks and stacks. And then they would come in and constantly tell me, I'm not reading this stuff and I'm not reading this stuff. And I'm like, in my back of my head, I've gone through this as a comic collector and I'm about to lose this customer, but I like this customer. We had a relationship. We talk every day. So I would tell him, I'd be like, why don't you just cut down to just read what you want to read? You don't have to buy all this shit. You don't have to fill out all your collections. There's no law that you have to be a completist. And we dwindle it down. And yeah, I'd lose a little business in the short run, but in the long run, I kept him as a customer because I just steered him into reading what he wanted to read instead of just habitually buying shit. Same thing goes with everything. Okay. So with YouTube, I mean, just watch what you want to watch. Actually, the content's quite good, to be honest with you. I've seen a lot of different stuff. We've shifted past Star Wars, and that's good. So no, I don't assume my taste is everybody's taste. Also, I've heard from a lot of YouTubers that if you get into YouTube, for one, it's a fun hobby. I highly recommend it. But if it starts taking off for you, don't quit your day job. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that. It depends on your situation. So my situation was I have a trade skill. Okay. It's technically a trade skill. I'm a journeyman parts seller for auto parts. I can sell auto parts for any car. I know cars. I don't care much about them. I never was really into them, but it's something I fell into prior to doing the comic shop. And yeah, I sold auto parts for 17 years, and got very good at it. And it's kind of fun. It's not as fun as YouTubing. So, and I know not everybody can do this. I understand that, but I mean, I can get that job anytime. I can go walk up to any dealership and tell them I have 17 years experience. They will hire me right there. The auto industry is desperate for parts people right now. It's actually a really good time if you want to go learn the job. You get paid pretty good, and the work it's better than being a mechanic. You get paid a little more than the mechanic, but you do a lot less work. You're just sitting at a computer and you're ordering stuff. You have to deal with auto shops. They're all pretty much dicks, but I mean, whatever. Who cares? There's an occasional cool one out there, but I digress. I had a job at Tesla. It was probably the best parts gig I've ever had. Great benefits. The hours were good. They were paying me well, and I hated it. I hated it. And the channel started taking off a little bit, and I saw an opportunity in front of me, and I did this with a comic shop too. I had never run a business before. I had an opportunity to buy a comic shop, and I'm like, wow, I've got this really secure job right now, but like this opportunity is not going to come up all the time. I don't want to pass on it. And I jumped and I did it. And, those who try the most fail the most. You got to make the leap. And if you feel like your channel's taking off and you think, well, if I quit my day job and dedicate a little more time, I can do this for a couple of years. That's the way I look at it. I don't see anything forever. Fuck yeah, I'm going to do it. Hell yeah. Work from home, not have a boss, get to talk about nerd shit all day. Yeah, I'm going to fucking do that. I'm going to do it full time. And I'm going to try my ass off to do it. So yeah, don't listen to that advice. I don't think it's good. Now, if it's not everybody's in my situation, of course, having a skill, and if it's difficult to find, don't quit a job that you absolutely goddamn need, but also don't stay at a job that you're miserable at, no matter what, YouTube or not. Sitting there working a job you hate, you can always go look for another job. I always did that. I never stayed places I hated. I didn't want to be miserable. Security wasn't that important to me. You'll find another job. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Especially in this economy right now. And also depends on the economy, not comedy, and outlying factors, but it depends on the situation. If you are in the situation to maybe lean into your YouTube channel a little bit and do it for a living for a little while, sure. If you are, a partner at a law firm or you have some amazing job, no, hell no, keep that job. Yeah, it all depends. I had a blue collar job at Tesla. It was, I'd rather do this. I'd rather try this. And I wouldn't want to go through my life regretting. It's like, God, I had that shot and I didn't take it, because this shot's only coming once. It's not coming again. So there you go. Unsolicited advice on that. Now, as far as what we do, talking, that's what we do. We talk. We're fans. We talk about shit. We talk about rumors. We talk about leaks. We talk about stories. And this is what Anti-Trekker was talking about. Now, this is his decision for his channel, which works for him, which I agree with. If it works for him, I agree with. He didn't want to report on leaks. I only report on other people's leaks generally. Like I'll bring a rumor to you once in a while, but I'm not big on it. I'll admit that. And as far as dropping leaks all the time, it's not something I really want to do, but I'll report on other people's leaks. No problem. That's fine. But as far as like people handing me stuff and me running with it, it depends on the situation. I'm not going to say no all the time, but I'd rather report on what happens. But Doomcock was doing great with that, with reporting on leaks. Doomcock's my friend. I support him. And I'm really happy to see his channel growth and everything. So good on him. But if you're wondering, say you're a YouTuber and you're wondering why you're not growing, you have to make a decision. If you're going to report on news, you might as well report on leaks. If you're going to sit there and read articles and stuff, which is a good way to go on YouTube. For one, you got to be into what you're reading about. You got to actually be into it, because people can sniff that out, because you guys aren't dumb. You're smart. And you might as well report on leaks. It's news. We're fans. We're talking. We're not news agencies, so we can report on whatever the hell we want. And if it gets traction, it gets traction. Great. If it doesn't, your audience will tell you. If you want to just be a review channel, do what Meyer does. Just focus on reviews and do live streams. And that's it. And he does great with that. He doesn't do news articles and any of that stuff. Because he fires up a video once every few months and it gets millions of views. And it's one of the best things on YouTube, if not the best thing on YouTube. Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can do your channel. But I'm not going to judge anybody. Jeremy puts out a few videos a day. So does Mecca. So your boy Zach. Your boy Zach does what, 3-4 videos a day? I don't do that. I do one every other day. Yeah, that's fine. Everybody does it different. And you're not doing it wrong. The algorithm will tell you if you're doing it wrong. The algorithm isn't out to get you. It's not out to get me. It works when it works. I've had lows and highs on this channel, and you just keep plugging away. That's it. But projecting out to other channels, I don't know. I just never found that helpful. But if somebody needs help, I am here. I am here to ask. I will talk your ear off about this shit. Probably boring the hell out of you guys right now. But as far as to judge somebody for reporting on leaks on YouTube is rich. It's rich. That's what we do. People want to hear about stuff. People want to talk about stuff. We want to speculate stuff. And I don't know if you guys if I ever bring on one of my older friends and from real life, they'll tell you I've always been like this. This is the shit I always talk about in my everyday life. This isn't just a YouTube thing. I just turned the camera on. I've been talking about this for years. All this stuff. So I just found a place to do it where I can connect with more people. So great. There it is. But Zach did say something very smart in his video because he's a smart guy. Only make a video that you want to make a video on. I'm paraphrasing. Actually give a shit about your video. Don't just do a video to do a video. I agree with that. That is something I completely agree with. I don't make videos just to make videos. I have to give a crap about it. 200 watt studio for $2. Gary, check your email. I have something for you. Okay, I will check my email if I can do it quick. I generally don't like doing it in live streams, but okay, I'll check it out. Thanks, man. Thank you very much. Darkinian, did you read The Fall of Gondolin yet? The Fall of Gondolin. No, I have not. I have not, Darkinian. My reading is so far behind right now. I am reading Elric. That's what I'm reading. And some Doctor Who comics. Every time I start watching Doctor Who, I have to watch classic series and read old comics just to cleanse my palate of fucking Jodie Whittaker's and Chris Chibnall. Still waiting for Tom Bombadil. Otherwise, I'm out, says TJ Paris. Well, you're out because you're never going to get Tom Bombadil. Well, you know what? I bet you they might put him in. Well, they could. Tom Bombadil's a little weird, man. He's a little sing-songy, and, we're not really sure where he comes from. He might be just a leftover from the Song of Creation. Tom Bombadil's weird. There's a reason they kept him out of everything. I like him in the book, though. I do. TJ, you have to agree with this. The Lord of the Rings needs a new audiobook read for the unabridged version. I don't mind the guy who did it, but he recorded it back in 1990, and it sounds like he's recording on a cassette tape in his closet. I really wish the Tolkien estate would get Jim Dale, who did Harry Potter, and have him do The Lord of the Rings. That would be the shit. Ed Powell for $10. I've talked to Tom Shippey and, I already read this one, but I'll read it again. I've talked to Tom Shippey, and while he's muzzled by an NDA, he also said he thought his influence was very limited. That is not good. Thank you again, Ed, for the $10. Picard will toss his phaser over his shoulders. Says Cracklin for $1.99. Yes, absolutely. The Legion of Reason for $5 Canadian. No, just a donation. Thank you very much, the Legion of Reason, and 10 more Canadian dollars. Then he says, I'm tired of once great franchises being hijacked and turned into propaganda machines. Call me old-fashioned, but I want my entertainment to be, well, entertaining. You're not old-fashioned. People are tired of that. And Doctor Who was propaganda last Sunday. If you want an example of propaganda, it was Doctor Who. Now, before I hear the complaints, I don't discuss climate change on this channel, and I won't discuss climate change on this channel. There's a lot of science on all sides of climate change. All I can say is littering is bad. We should probably reduce carbon emissions. I think that's a good idea. And like dumping sewage and plastic in our oceans sucks and stupid. Nobody's for that, okay? That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a politicized issue that people are trying to monetize. That's what we're talking about. Grant Kelbrick for 35 Zardazes. Hey, Gary, hope you are well. I am, thank you. So, losing Star Wars, I can kind of handle. Star Trek is really hurting, but if I lose The Lord of the Rings, not sure if I can even recover. Right there with you. Star Wars was easier to handle, probably for you and I, because, and I know there's a lot of fans out there, and if you are, I respect you, but the prequels kind of sucked. And that kind of broke a lot of the fandom. And this did more damage. Whatever recovery we had from the prequels, because the prequels did capture a generation of kids, because there's the Gen Xers having their kids and they got their kids in the Star Wars, but they're not getting that next generation at all. And you know what? Doctor Who did, and they fucked it up. Lord of the Rings. God, the only thing that Lord of the Rings did wrong was they came out with the movies too close to each other. I think it would have been more in the cultural zeitgeist. Is that the right term? If it had been 2 years apart, 3 years apart between movies, because they came out every year, which was great if you're impatient, but it would have probably had a bigger impact for younglings. That being said, it won't be equaled. I mean, they swept the Oscars. The movies are, I mean, they're better than they're better than Star Wars. They are. Lord of the Rings is better than Star Wars, like by far. It's not even close. I would say Star Wars for its time technically was better, special effects, but as far as story, acting, everything else, Lord of the Rings by far. They're both good, but Lord of the Rings isn't tainted like Star Wars is. But it might be now. It might be now. Star Trek. See, the thing about Star Trek is they keep... Star Trek was political, but it was a message of hope. That's it. The reason people like Star Trek is because it wasn't a dystopian future. It was hopeful. People are, believe it or not, franchises are built on fun and thrilling. Star Wars was, there was the dark times, but it was fun. Star Wars is fun. Indiana Jones was fun. Lord of the Rings was fun. Star Trek, in its way, was fun. Tons of fun. Very light and airy at times. And I like that. Dark, grim all the time. Doesn't last that long. Battlestar Galactica was great for its 4 seasons. I couldn't have watched 10 seasons of that shit. Walking Dead. I walked away from the Walking Dead comic book and TV show when I realized this is all it's going to be. It's just going to be people being bad to each other and running for zombies for 10 fucking seasons. That bores the shit out of me. What's inspiring about that? Surviving? Okay, great. We're going to watch people survive for 10 years? I mean, are we going to tell us where the zombies come from? No? Then I don't care. I'm out. I don't give a shit. And the same goes for the comic book. Those are my tastes, though. Those are just my tastes. Like The Expanse. I think The Expanse is great. I don't think I would watch The Expanse for 20 seasons. I'd watch it for 7. Star Trek, I could have watched for 20 seasons. Easy. I'd have been into it. I'd have been fine. Episodic. And that's what it needs to be. It overarching stories and stuff. I don't think that's going to work for Star Trek, because those kind of stories do need to be dark and complicated and sophisticated. And I don't know if that's Star Trek. I really don't. I haven't seen it work yet. If I see it work, I'll let you know. Miles for 35 Zardoz. Gary, breaking news for Trek and CBS just axed Moonvis right-hand man and CEO. Whoa, CBS Ilenio. Oh, Mills. Thank you for the 35. I say Zardoz. That is South African dollars, but it's a ZAR, so I say Zardoz. And there's a HUFF. That's my Huffington Post. So let's see. CEO CBS fired. Hang on. What's that guy's name again? Ilenio. That's right. So that's Redstone. coming out with her axe because she hated Moonvis because he was a creep. I'm just looking for an article on this. I can't find it, but I'll take your word for it. So it looks like the right-hand man of Les Moonvis has been axed. Sherry Redstone is out there trying to un-F the mess that is CBS and Viacom. It's going to take her a while. And right now she needs content for her streaming service. And that's why we got Star Trek Picard Season 2 before Season 1 comes out. We're going to get a Star Trek Discovery Season 3. We're going to get Lower Decks soon. Interesting thing with Section 31 and CBR. And we're going to see how this game is played. Hang on. Star Trek News. Okay, so we got a couple of Star Trek updates here real quick. Here we go. I want you, okay, this is Access Media in action. This is Access Media 101. Here we go. Boom. Okay. CBR. Star Trek provides update on Michelle Yeoh's Discovery spinoff. Okay, so here's the update. It's now, I believe let me double check. Yeah, they changed the headline. That's not what I read this morning. But it was supposed to be, yeah, they totally changed the headline. Hang on. I've got it on my phone. They totally changed the fucking headline, those bastards. It was something like Section 31 still in production. Okay, it said, or now it's Star Trek provides update on Michelle Yeoh's Discovery spinoff. That was not the headline that I read this morning. The headline I read this morning, I'm paraphrasing, was Star Trek Section 31 in production or something like that. So you go to this and God, maybe it's on my other computer. Hang on. And it says Michelle Yeoh's Star Trek Discovery spinoff is in active development, according to executive producer Heather Caden. Section 31 is in active development. So they've repeated it twice. So that's obviously a huge priority for Michelle Yeoh's character. Georgiou is so unique, and you've never seen that before. Again, it has to, because we've never seen a badass woman of 150 pounds in a TV show. We haven't seen it this morning. It has to fall under the guise of there's a lot of, is this show a unique space we haven't explored before? Caden said at the TCA Winter Press Tour. The series will follow Captain Georgiou in Section 31. I'm trying to figure out what the original headline was because that's all it says. That's it. It resets everything. It tells you who the producers are. It tells you that Michelle Yeoh's, they tells you when Philippa Georgiou debuted in Star Trek. Okay, so here's the article. Here are all the producers. When she debuted in Star Trek, a recap of what her character is. The only important part of this entire article is this. Right there. And they crafted an entire... I lost it, damn it. They crafted an entire article off that. And the original headline said something like Section 31 is on its way, basically. And that's all it says. That's your Access Media. They're completely fucking useless. They need to go away. It's time for them to end. For all the shit we get, I read that, and the only reason they put that up is to keep it out there, to keep it in the air. Because this show, I just don't think that show's happening. I really don't. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. Let's get back to you. So, lots of turmoil at CBS. And they really I guess they really hated Doomcock and Doomcock's video and my video. I don't know this for a fact. I've heard it kind of hearsay. I can't imagine they liked it, but thank you for watching if you did. Danielle Irazzi for 300 ARSs. I don't know what that is. Hi, Gary. I know my last name is hard to pronounce. Yes, so is mine. And you can call me Danny if you want. I really hope they make a good show. If not, at least we have the Lord of the Rings movies. And Danny, you're right. They can never take that away. They have the production designer from Lord of the Rings, and that's good. And listen, these guys might be great. Maybe they were waiting in the wings, and this is their chance, and maybe these two guys are the best showrunners ever. But they come from Bad Robot. I haven't seen much good from Bad Robot. But yeah, I want it to be good. That's my desire. My desire is every show to be good. My desire is for Hollywood to find balance again and not try to demonize a section of the public based on like one simple thing in their lives, their political beliefs, which does not define a person. And this constant searching for validity through a television show. People. A show cannot define you. A show cannot validate you. If you are looking for that kind of validation, you need something more than a TV show. You are. Lady Gravemaster for $5. Jim Broadbent beat Ian McKellen in the O2 Oscars for Best Supporting Role. Ian McKellen was not nominated for any other year of Lord of the Rings. You're right. He was only nominated for Fellowship. And Jim Broadbent, what movie was it? It was, I'm not going to look it up. It was probably something British and dramatic. Maticus Finch for $18.20. Thank you, though, Lady Gravemaster. I do appreciate it for the $5. Maticus Finch for $18.20. $5. They got inexperienced showrunners because they are empty vessels to be filled with ideology and direction. Maticus Finch is 100% correct. That's why they do it. Bird of Prey 5. Kapla! I think YouTube unsubbed you from me. I know you used to be subbed. Kapla! I should be still subbed. Hang on. Let me check. They certainly unsubbed from people. Yeah, I'm not there. Here, I'll fix that, buddy. Bird of Prey 5. Sorry I'm doing this live, folks. I'm just trying to do it quickly. I apologize. There. Yep. I got unsubbed from a lot of people last month. So, yeah, if you don't think YouTube unsubs people, they do, because I don't unsub from people. Now, listen, maybe there is a possibility I was like on my phone and I did it accidentally, but no, it was not on purpose. Sorry, Bird of Prey 5. There we go. Thank you. Anti-Trekker, here he is for $5. Hey, Gary, thanks for reaching out. I know you are busy. Just let me know anytime I am not at work or at the doctor. We can talk. Love you, man. Love you too, brother. It's all good. It's all good. We'll get you on. Listen, I just don't want you coming on Friday night time. I mean, if you want to, I just don't think it's entertaining to watch 5 people gang up on you. Plus, I mean, I can beat you on this debate by myself. Like, I have no problem. Trying to talk me out of my opinion on a movie is you might as well ask the sun not to shine. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And it's not good. I can like a movie that's not good. I like a lot of movies that aren't good. But yeah, Fall of Skywalker is a bad movie too. I mean, Jar Jar Abrams is out there admitting it practically. I mean, everybody's apologetic. The Colin Trevorrow script leak. Do you think that was just an accident, folks? And it leaked to Robert Meyer Burnette. Not to Robert Meyer Burnette, who is, I mean, he's respected in our sphere. So it didn't leak to me or Doomcock or Jeremy. It leaked to RMB. That's a well-placed leak. Who it comes from, it's none of my business. Robert Meyer Burnette said on his live stream, "Don't ask me. I'm not going to tell you." I totally respect that. And I'm going to see him this weekend. Not even going to bring it up. Not even going to bring it up because it's none of my business. He did his live stream. I watched it. And quite frankly, it doesn't, is it better than The Fall of Skywalker? I don't know. Robert Meyer Burnette made it sound interesting because he was all excited when he read it. And I like that. I like that kind of passion. It sounded better. Would have been executed better on film? I don't know. Would it made the Disney trilogy okay? No. Did it erase The Last Jedi? Nope. Is Luke still dead in it? Yep. Okay. Don't care. Don't care. Disney Star Wars sucks. Father Christopher Miller, $2. What season of Black Adder is your favorite? I don't know if I have a season that's my favorite. My viewing of Black Adder is completely out of order on PBS. So I don't have a favorite season, Father Christopher Miller. What I watched on PBS I liked, and it could have been in order. Let me see if I can figure it out. Hang on. Let me look at the seasons of Black Adder. These were reruns. Okay. I'm guessing, and this is just a guess, because I was 17 when I was watching it, and then I watched it more when I was in my 20s. So, like, I don't know, like 3, maybe? I'll have to watch it again and let you know. But I watched it on PBS. I do not own it. But maybe I should. Ginkgo Yoki, thank you, Father Christopher Miller. And if I cussed, I'm sorry. I apologize. I am a fallible human being, and I know you'll forgive me. Ginkgo Yoki for $5. Phil Dragash did a YouTube series complete with the movie original soundtrack. Did a fantastic job. Of course, the series got struck down by Tolkien Estate. That sucks. Is there any place to find it? God damn, the original soundtracks came out. They did this vinyl thing. Hang on. I'll show you real quick. This is the coolest thing to come out in a long time. If I can pull it out. I haven't even taken it out of the plastic yet. Oh shit, there goes an action figure. I got to remember that. That was actually my coat hanger on my TARDIS that fell down. This is it's green vinyl, and it's like a book, and it's the extended soundtrack, and it's awesome. Available on Amazon. By the way, I need to find the link. I have an Amazon influencer page. So anything I recommend on a live stream, I will plop it on that page. It's a reference point. You don't have to buy anything. I mean, it's awesome, but you really don't. But it's a reference point for all the shit I talk about. I plop it over there. And Mrs. Nerdrotic set that up for me. So she's awesome. Thank you. But yeah, I'm going to break this open and listen to it very soon. So we went ultra old school. So we don't watch our TV in our living room anymore because it's the 21st century and we have computers. So I have this giant TV I never watch anymore. So our living room now is where we listen to records. We have our record player and we have 2 chairs and we sit there like old people and listen to our record albums. It's my new favorite thing to do. It's fucking great. It's been taking up a lot of my time, but it's great. Rob W for $5. Hi, Gary. My first super chat ever. Woo. I'll be gentle. Elric options were picked up for television per TOR Books. I heard that. I remain hopeful, but it is 2020. So maybe 2020 will be the year where we go, oh man, it might be good. It's 2020 and not 2019. Let's see if that changes. And if it does, Rob W., if it continues, if the Dave Chappelle effect continues. But you know what the Dave Chappelle effect, was instrumental in the Dave Chappelle effect? The fandom menace. I know some people might not like to hear that. Tough. They were before I came along. Because, it was an evolution. The fandom menace is nothing like Gamergate, but it's got some of its roots in Comicsgate, but it's bigger. And that's the only reason it's been somewhat successful. And it's also very different. It's more of a pure consumer movement because we can't make TV shows and movies. It's either got to change or we got to walk away and go find something else to do. Where comics, they can affordably make something that's as good or superior in a lot of cases than the big two. 35 Zardos is in the message got retracted. Sorry. Maybe I didn't get to it quick enough. I apologize. Miles for 35 Zardos is Gary, check your messenger. You have some major Trek news in there about Section 31 and Kurtzman's future. I will check it right now. Excuse me, I'm going to sip a little bit. Apologies. Oh, God dang it. I hate it when you go to Facebook and it gives you like pictures from 7 years ago of your kid when he was cute. And you just go, oh, I'm not mad at anything anymore. As my kid was so cute. What happened? Now he's just a big thing. He's taller than Mrs. Nerdrotic now. Okay. I of course cannot share this on the screen. I will be reading it to you, folks. I will be reading it to you. Give me a moment. Okay. Hot off the presses. Hot off the presses. From a Star Trek person, we'll say right now. Let me pre-read this first. Make sure I don't blab anything. Okay, basically, Kurtzman does not want to make anything that feels like original Trek, and he now is the problem. Chabon licensed in a lot of things, meaning Chabon had to license some of the Next Generation stuff to bring it in with the bad reboot license that doesn't exist supposedly, that has something to do with Secret Hideout. So there is right now Star Trek is unifying, but prior to that there were separate licenses for the Kelvin universe and what they call the Prime Timeline, which might be different. According to my source, it is. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm not there. All I know is it's different. For example, in the short Trek that just came out, in the shipyards, why was it Discovery era ships? Why wouldn't you put modern era or ships for that time? That makes no sense unless there is a license. Then it makes all the sense in the world. And if they talk about special effects, dude, I could After Effects you a ship in there myself. Easily. Okay. They mostly been cut out. He was fired. They mostly been cut out when he was fired. And that's Chabon. He also, I'm trying to pre-read this. He also went over budget, and by removing and unlicensing original items saved a lot of money and trimmed budget. We are back to Kurtzman Picard. So any progress that was made with Michael Chabon to try to un-Kurtzman Star Trek Picard, according to a person, that is gone. And this is Kurtzman's show again. So again, Kurtzman was removed and replaced by Chabon. So that rumor I reported on that people were telling me to retract my video, no, I won't, because I reported on a rumor that Kurtzman was removed, and a week later he was removed and replaced by Chabon. Please tell me how I was wrong. Kurtzman's favor is in the toilet at CBS upper management, and he is not listening and being combative with their input. That's Section 31 being important. And yes, we hear fans want a Pike series, and we want to think about it, and we will think about it as an FU to CBS. He was fired by Redstone personally. My CBS guy says Kurtzman is not listening, and they are fighting with Netflix over stupid shit he said. He is not allowed to do anything now nor produce. He has lost favor with CBS and arguing with them in public statements. Rumor is Aelio had a contract with Moonvis, which is why he has been protecting Kurtzman. There you go. I mean, the person who sends me this stuff, I like a lot. And I just have to say, you got to take that with a grain of salt. And I am not a news source. I am reporting on hearsay and a rumor. That's it. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't put it out of the realm of possibility that they would have to run with what they have right now because they're in the middle of a streaming war. They're trying to keep investors. They're trying to keep, they have stockholders and everything. Streaming is the future for all of these networks. They know they're dead. They know they're dinosaurs. They know network TV is going to go bye-bye someday. Maybe not permanently, but it's not going to be their main source of income. Plus, it's huge. The infrastructure costs billions, and you can reduce infrastructure by going streaming. That still costs a lot of money, but not as much as putting a broadcast television out. And gone will be the days of plastic Barbie dolls and Ken dolls reading news off the teleprompter. Those days will be numbered, and it's going to be jackasses in their rooms talking on webcams. And that's going to be a beautiful thing, quite frankly. That's where I get my news. That's where I get my entertainment news. With apologies to Bird of Prey 5. Those are most of the channels I watch, are all the up-and-coming channels in the Fandom Menace. I think it's a great group of people, and I watch people outside of the Fandom Menace. Those are the people I trust right now. I don't trust CBR. I don't trust comicbook.com. I don't trust Variety. So Tarantino has also just officially walked. The license still remains in place while Kurtzman is in charge. So as long as Secret Hideout and Kurtzman is in charge of Star Trek, the license remains in place, meaning 25% different. Midnight's Edge has reported on this much more than I have. Please refer to their videos. They're fantastic pieces of work. So, thank you very much, by the way. Thank you, person. Thank you, person. I don't want to say your name. So there you go. Hot off the presses. Kurtzman's in trouble. Aiello's been fired by Redstone personally, who was less grabby hands, Moonves, right hand man. While his right hand was squeezing some lady's ass, he had a right hand man. And yeah, fuck them if they're gone. By the way, if they're creepers like that, and listen, I hate what Time's Up and Me Too has done to Hollywood and everything. But for any guys who were actually creepers, fuck them, by the way. Goodbye. You make it bad for all of us. For all of us. So thank you again. Nigel Mayo for £2. Seth MacFarlane to showrun Doctor Who. That's the dream. That would be a dream, Nigel. I mean, I would prefer him on Star Trek. But I would take him on Doctor Who. I would take anybody. My preference for showrunner for Doctor Who right now is Jamie Matheson. Jamie Matheson wrote the 2 best Capaldi episodes. And if you watch those episodes, those felt like Doctor Who. Those were the last 2 episodes that really felt like Doctor Who. Those were as good as any Eccleston, Capaldi, Big Finish McGann, Matt Smith, Fifth Doctor. I mean, those were great episodes. And that's the reason I own that season on Blu-ray, is for those 2 episodes that I watch over and over again. Flatline, Mummy on the Orient Express. Jamie Matheson should be running Doctor Who. And maybe he will be next time. Jorian Drake for 1,000 Huffington Posts. Automatic unsubscription happens. It also happened to me to your channel. The channel of Yang Yi and also MXR. That's interesting. Yeah, it does. It does. I have been unsubbed from Diversity in Comics. I have been unsubbed from Mecca. I have been unsubbed from Doomcock. I have been unsubbed from Ethan. And I have been unsubbed from Jeremy. Those are channels I watch all the time. That's why I noticed I was unsubbed. I'm like, what? Oh, I look down. I'm like, how is there no Mecca video in my feed? She makes 4 videos a day. Oh, I got unsubbed. Yeah, that's what happens. Nicholas Horton for £5. And by the way, thank you to all who have subscribed. Please make sure you are still subscribed. And please support independent content. Not just me, your favorite YouTuber. I know a lot of you just watch and don't sub, but it really does help. It really does help in the algorithm to have the subscribers. It just takes a click. And at least for me, I will not spam your feed. I do put out something every day. It's generally a live stream, a video, maybe a couple. I live stream a lot, but I don't leave them public. That's why you should subscribe to Nerdrotic Live. You like that segue? My alternate channel where I put all of my live content once it's done. That channel has been growing quite a bit. So we got to 16,000 subs. Oh, and by the way, there's, we dropped some viewers. I'm sorry. We're still at 2,458. We have 958 likes. We have 2 new members, and I love you guys. But I wanted to flex a little bit. Burnette work. Dude, I like that banner a lot more. I've got to show you a douchey picture that I made too, considering Star Trek. Past 211,000 subs. I have had the craziest last 2 weeks. So this is supposed to be the slow time. And certainly revenue's down a little bit, but whatever. I plan for that shit. The growth is, is this a collider bump? I don't know what this is. But I thank you. And it looks like I'm, another video is going to hit 100,000 subs. Did it in a day with the Doctor Who one, which is pretty awesome. Things are going great. So thank you. I really appreciate it. This is tons of fun. And you have my promise that as hard as I go in on Hollywood and political correctness and stuff, when I see something I like, I will shout it out just as much. That's a promise. I try to shout out The Expanse, Witcher, Umbrella Academy. These are all things I like that came out last year. The Boys, even The Mandalorian. I mean, that's not my favorite. I'll be honest with you. I binged it and I liked it less, and that's saving it for another video. But thank you. Now we got to get to that cheesy picture. Let's see if I can pull this up without doxing people. Un momento, por favor. Oh no, I didn't want that. Okay. Hang on a second. Will Wheaton, Star Trek, Instagram, after show ready room. Let me see if the image pops up. Yes, right here. Okay. And we're going to do this. Boop, 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 boop. Hang on. I don't like putting myself on thumbnails. I generally do, unless it's a joke. So here's Will Wheaton's announcement for the Ready Room with his fucking CB. What the fuck picture is that? Pretentious ass. So I did that. I don't know. I can't look as pretentious as him, but I really tried. I really did try. Fucker. I'm blocked on Twitter by him, by the way. Oh, man. Thank you, Tyraculus. Triaculus. I appreciate that. We love you too. Okay. So Nicholas Horton, hail Gary, the current media is going, you'll eventually need a helmet. The way current media is going, you'll eventually need a helmet like Doomcock to stop your head from exploding with rage. Nicholas, I try not to get too mad about this stuff. I try. But, yeah, the media is going sour, and the access media is something I don't think we can save, and I don't know if we need to. I think it's changing, and I think electronic blogging and all that stuff, I just, I think it's much easier to talk to somebody. It's much easier for us to interact, so why not do it? And I think this is the new form, honestly. And it doesn't have to be polished or structured. Now, if you are reporting current events, you should be like Tim Pool and get sources and double check everything and make sure the news. If I was a news person, I would try to make sure my news was accurate. I'm not, though. I'm opinion. I am editorial. So I'll just talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. And I'll run with whatever the hell I want to run with. And if it works on the channel, great. And if it doesn't, you guys will let me know. Believe me. Andy Signor made a video about the leaked script and claimed he had the same one. He shared actual lines and described extended scenes, made the first leak more believable in my eyes. Cool. Good for him. That's what you get when you get access. You get scripts like that. AFK Bard for $10. That's good for Andy Signor, I like Robert Meyer Burnette. I'll just say that. I like Robert Meyer Burnette. Sir Billy Ritchie for $1.99. Did you ever go to Star Trek The Experience? All the time. All the time. I went to that 20 times, 25 times, easily. Every time I went to Vegas. In the 90s, I was going to Vegas 4 times a year, 5 times a year. Always went there. Melissa and I went there right before it shut down, which really sucked. And you know why it shut down? Jar Jar Abrams. Bad robot. Peter DeRosa for $14.99. Did you ever, by the way, there is still one sign left. I saw it when I was there. I saw it right outside my window. Peter DeRosa for $14.99. Do you ever think the Silmarillion will ever be done justice on screen? And second question, what is a property IP you would like to see done justice on screen someday that hasn't been done yet? So many things have been done. No, you'll never be able to make the Silmarillion, and that's fine. I don't think it's possible, to be honest with you, and that's fine. I think it just, it's not really complete anyway. It would be trying to make Salmon of Doubt into something from Douglas Adams. You just can't. The property I would like to see done justice, but it's already been done, is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is probably, for one, I know it's going to be a TV show and it's run by one of the jackasses from Lost. So it's not, and it's going to be all American and it's going to suck. It's going to suck. You know what? Russell T. Davies running a Hitchhiker show would be good. He would be perfect. He would be perfect for it. That's what I would like to see. Film, I don't know if I look even forward. I look more forward to television series now than film. I am way more into the one thing out there. There's 2 things out there, 3 that I can't wait for. Umbrella Academy season 2, Witcher season 2, and Expanse season 5. I mean, cannot wait. And as far as movies, Tenet, I'm looking forward to Tenet. I'm actually looking forward to seeing 1917 if I could ever make it to a movie theater. But Tenet's the only one I'm actually looking forward to this year. The Black Widow, it's too little too late for me. I'm not excited about it at all. I like ScarJo, but I think this movie's a makeup movie. That's all it is. They felt like they owed ScarJo, and they did, and they're trying to correct something, but you can't. It's too late. She's dead. Cesario JPN for $5. How tone deaf is Doctor Who's boss for not to take feedback and go, it's not a democracy. Death wish for an IP because the TV license money isn't forever. That will be mentioned in my next video. Yes, indeed. Chris Chibnall gave an interview, and in Radio Times, he said he doesn't listen to feedback and it's not a democracy. And that's why you suck. That's why you suck. I listen to feedback. I listen to feedback from people who don't even have a channel. I mean, you got to listen to it. I mean, they could be full of shit, or you know what? They might be onto something. I generally think if I have to stop and think, or if something like irritates me immediately, I'm like, there's something truthful in that. There's something truthful. If I got irritated and my defense mechanisms went up, somebody told me the truth. So I got to listen. I'm holding you to watching Blake 7. Problem being, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to start watching it this weekend. It's in, hang on. Because actually my closet that's going to turn into something, by the way, that you're going to be able to see. And then the camera will be right here instead of over here, because that's going to be like some backlit action figures. Blake 7 is inside that closet. Oh, now I screwed up my camera. God damn it. Hang on. There we go. And yes, hold me to it. Problem being, Captain Spire for $5. Corin Nemec is a friend of the fandom. Orville Nation's live stream of him was fantastic. Oh, I heard. He needs our attention and he's up for another stream. Does he want to come on my channel? Maybe Orville Nation could come on with me. I'm open to it. The author Stephen Walton texted me and told me that live stream was going on last night. The Nerdrotic. I know it's a stretch. My car, the Nerdrotic. The Nerdrotic is in the shop as I prepare for my trip. Right now I have a god awful pewter Toyota Land Rover rental. I have an adult car in front of my house. It's disgusting. I need to get my crazy FJ with a bunch of stickers on it back. But yeah, I was at the shop when I got that text, so I couldn't watch the live stream. I plan to watch it though when I'm at the gym, which I haven't gone to yet. Thank you. Let's get him on. I mean, like, I don't mean to take any way. I don't want to take attention away from Orville Nation though. So if Orville Nation wants me to go on his channel and we can talk to him again, that's fine. But if they want to come on my channel together, great. Yeah, let's do it. Of course. I will tell you right now, I'm not big on interviewing actors. I've been offered from the Orville interviews. I have. I have yet to take them up on it. I'm actually, part of my trip this weekend to LA is Orville related. Hopefully, cross your fingers. And then I want to start setting some of that up, but I'm not big on interviewing creatives. I will not interview a repurposer or actors on this channel because this is about fans. I don't want anything to corrupt that. That's why I'm not going to make comic books. And again, this is not a judgment on anybody else. This is what I choose to do. I want to YouTube. This is all I want to do. I don't want to create anything other than this channel because I don't want anything to break the connection with you guys. Because this is we're a fun group of people here. I like it. And I don't want to get distracted from this. I've already distracted enough. My concentration will be on this. So you have my promise on that. Sure. Do I have comic book ideas? Of course I do. I've made comics before. I might give them to somebody to go do if they want to. I'm open to that because I'll never finish it. So sure. People have offered. The great Mark C out there is doing some art for me, and he's amazing. He's amazing. Go check him out on Twitter. Spitting Link for £2 says game over. Game over, man. Game over. Game over if they fuck up Lord of the Rings. Spitting Link for sure. I like the game over. Here, I'll show you guys. There needs to be a thing where I really like the StreamYard highlight on the bottom of the screen. They need to make that happen somehow. But yeah, if it's over here. It says game over right there. All right. Michael Billington. Oh shit, it just jumped on me. God damn it. There goes Michael Billington for $5. Hulu is meant to be making a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. Nothing is safe. That's what I was talking about, Michael. Thank you very much for £5. And you are British, so you actually have a stake in this. You have a say. I will respect what you say more than any American says about the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Now, that is my personal Bible. Douglas Adams is one of my personal childhood heroes. I've read that book more than any book in my life. And if they fuck it up, they've already fucked it up. The Disney movies sucked. There was a couple things I liked about it, but that's it. Like a couple. Alan Rickman as Marvin was brilliant. Stephen Fry reading the book was brilliant. Everything else was shit. And goddamn, Maz Def as Ford Prefect pissed me off so much. Mumbling through that entire fucking movie. And that's not Ford. Okay? Ford's one of my favorite characters ever. Ford is, he's kind of like, he's pretty much the Doctor, but much more irresponsible. And Hitchhiker takes place in the world of in the universe of Doctor Who, in my opinion. And they did canonize it, by the way. Arthur Dent was mentioned in Christmas Invasion. So it's canonized. Scottish Nerd for £5. Would you like to see Kim Stanley Robinson's Martian trilogy on screen? Scottish Nerd, sure. The Martian trilogy. The only one I know is the Martian Chronicles by the Ray Bradbury. I don't know if I know this one. Let me check. Kim Stanley Robinson. Mars. Oh, I've heard of this. Okay, yeah, I haven't read it though. Sure. I like sci-fi. I like science. I'll say it just like Spock. Thank you, Scottish Nerd. And are you actually in Scotland, Scottish Nerd? Because that's where I'm flying in. I'm flying into Scotland in April. So, cup of coffee, cup of tea. Luva Orc for £5. If you ever write a book, make sure it cannot be adapted to the screen, or else your art will be shat upon. Luva Orc, yes. If any of you out there, one of you out there is going to create an IP someday, an IP that's popular, don't ever fucking sell it. Make your money, keep your money. You don't need that extra billion or million. You don't. Make sure you write in a poison pill to any contract that if they fuck with your lore, it's done. Yeah, just don't. Thank you. Vestigial Twin Wink for $4.99. Black Widow movie will probably set up her sister as the new Black Widow. Maybe. I think they're going to keep her dead. And this is what pisses me off. I knew this would fucking happen with the goddamn movies. They're going to have to relate them to the comics. So Tony Stark being dead in the films is going to make Tony Stark dead permanently in the comics. I have a complete run of Iron Man up to a certain point. I have a complete run of Captain America. And these things were not supposed to end. That's what was special. And you're not going to pass the mantle. Nobody will ever buy into it. It's never going to fucking work. Comics, you're barely hanging on as it is. I mean, you really need to just go back to basics or you're dead. And every time I say something like that, I hear from one of my retailer friends, things are fine. No, they're not. Things are not fine. Things are so not fine. And people still want to buy comics. Zach's Jawbreaker's God King, $250,000 it raised. Now it's only 6,000 backers. That's only 6,000 people. But that's still a lot of money. That's still a lot of money. And he's not in shops. He's just got a platform. And yeah. Spinning Link for £5. Hopefully the 20s will bring creatives. If the world doesn't change, neither will entertainment. Love you, man. You do God's work. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Love you back. Brent Baratheon for the good Baratheon for $1.99. Nerdrotic, love you, man. Show us the room, please. I will give you a proper office tour when I get back. When I fix that closet, then the room is done. And I will give you a proper office tour. I can give you a quick peek though. Hang on, So we'll go over here first. This is the Doctor Who wall. And you can see the side of my other webcam. I have two webcams. I have a streaming webcam and a video recording webcam. Then we have the ceiling. Sorry, that's going to get blown out. That just has my maps of A Song of Ice and Fire. And then ships, the Vesper, which was a Build-A-Figure, by the way. Then all my ships over there. And I can't, there's my bookshelf. I don't want you to see, there's a messy part. That's all I can show you right now, but there's more. Right there, that's for my Buffy bro. My Buffy bro, Mahler. We're going to do a Buffy live stream one of these days. I'm sure people really hate Joss Whedon and they don't want me to do that, but you know what I really like are these right there. These giant Migos. Those are the shit. So they're 18-inch Migos reproductions that Diamond Distributors did. Those are awesome, man. Freaking love them. Okay, back to you guys. I will give you a proper, like in detail room view sometime soon. DeBrown guy for $2.79 Canadian. Hail Gary, enjoying the stream. Keep it up. Hail. Thank you, DeBrown guy. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Stephen Glasker for $4.99. Thanks, Gary. My uncle passed and I have 6.5 more hours to drive to attend funeral tomorrow. Oh, appreciate being able to have you along for the ride. Stephen, it is my honor to be along for the ride. I am sorry. I don't know the situation. It's sad. It's sad. I've lost too many family members. So I will try to keep going, and don't lose the link. I wish I could stay with you on the whole ride, but I can't. But Steven, any bit I can help, I hope I'm getting your mind off things. And props to your uncle, to Uncle Glasker. I don't know if that was his last name, but may he rest in peace. And hey, he got to know you. So that's a cool thing. Brian Snell for $5. What's better, 1980s movies, The Wraith, or The Last Starfighter? Last Starfighter. Which one is better candidate for a remake? Ugh. The Wraith. I think The Last Starfighter needs to be left alone. I think that's purely an 80s movie that just would not work right now. Honestly, didn't know Americans were big in the Doctor Who. Spit and Ink for £2. There is a ton of us who are fucking passionate about Doctor Who. Spitting Ink, let me give you the quick story. Generation X, there's a lot of us who are Anglophiles because of the Public Broadcasting Network, or PBS, Public Broadcasting System. So in the afternoons when I would get home from school, and the same with us latchkey kids, our parents wouldn't be home. We'd get home. We'd have an excessively large bowl of cereal. Some of us would smoke a bowl. Some of us would not. And we'd turn on our television. We'd have like 4 TV shows to choose from. When you're in your teens and your parents didn't have cable, you couldn't watch MTV. You didn't want to watch cartoons anymore. You had PBS. Doctor Who was playing. Blackadder was playing. Monty Python was playing. Fawlty Towers was playing. And then on Channel 13 in LA, Benny Hill was on. Watched all that shit all the time. Hitchhiker. Now, Generation X got into Hitchhiker through Star Wars. Okay, so in the early 80s, there was a Star Wars radio show that was produced by USC. The University of Southern California produced it with George Lucas's permission. That was his alma mater, and he gave him the rights to produce an amazing radio show. Well, what preceded the radio show was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So we would sit around our radios waiting for the Star Wars radio show to come on, and we'd catch the last 10 minutes of this weird British thing, and we started listening to it, and it started making us laugh. And then we started listening to the radio earlier, and we got into Hitchhiker's Guide. That's how Americans got into Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, is because of Star Wars and nothing else. We listened to the radio show, and then we were able to get the album and then the book. And then by 1983, every kid my age was reading the book and knew what it was. It just spread like wildfire. That's how Americans got into this stuff. I am so into you guys Like, I make pilgrimages to your country. I'm an Anglophile. I love the British. I'm sorry you're going through a lot of shit right now. And I'm sorry the BBC, which was the gold standard of television, has turned to shit. And just to let anybody know who's going to accuse me of being alt-right, I've always liked the BBC. Always. Alt-right. For one, there's about 1,000 real alt-right people in the world, and they're mislabeled. They don't exist. Just like the Yahtzees don't exist. I know there's a side of there's a group of people out there who really want them to, and they do in prisons and stuff like that, but they don't really fucking exist. I've always liked Doctor Who. I've always liked Star Trek. I've always liked Star Wars. I live in California. Do the math. Hitchhikers was my childhood. Don't get fucked. Same here. Thank you for the £2. Brian Snell for $5. What cartoon do you think would make a good live action show? My choice would be Gargoyles. Love your channel. Oh, I don't know how you do that, but Gargoyles is excellent. It's an excellent cartoon. Fucking Star Blazers. Battleship Yamato. Star Blazers. That's I love that shit. That was so good. My other favorite cartoon. I'm old. I like Thundar the Barbarian. I liked Thundercats a lot. Thundercats was one of my favorite. Another good cartoon. Oh, I don't know. My favorite show right now, and that I want back dearly, is Venture Brothers. I want Venture Brothers back. But as a kid, I watched a lot of superhero cartoons, so they're all getting made. But I would say, yeah, Star Blazers. Thank you, Matt Adams, for £5. Smooth Jam, California. Lots of Brits today. Probably Doctor Who. Yeah, it's that time of year. I have a really high percentage of Brits subscribing to this channel, so welcome. Again, I will be in your lovely country in 3 months. Smooth Jam, California for £5. You have a complete run of Cap comics, even the old stuff from the 40s. Hot damn, from Captain America. Yes, I do. Very expensive. I had to forego a large portion of my collection to have that. I was really into complete runs. I used to have 250,000 comics. My personal collection is at probably 15,000. But I have a complete run of Ghost Rider. I have a complete run of Amazing Spider-Man. I have a complete run of X-Men. I have a complete run of Iron Man. I have a complete run of Captain America. I have a complete run of Daredevil. I have a complete run of Teen Titans. That's not that hard, but then I have complete runs of like Transmetropolitan and Preacher. I'm into my complete runs. I am. But the Marvel stuff, those were the big hitter. My favorite one is Ghost Rider. It's not even the best written or best drawn. I like Ghost Rider. I have a complete everything with Wolverine in it too. Everything. So appearances, that's a lot. That's a lot, by the way. Now this is up until 2013, and then it shuts down. Done. Everything's done. Oh, Avengers. I have a complete run of the Avengers. I had a complete run of the Fantastic Four, but that's part of the thing I had to give up to get the complete run of Cap. I kind of wish I could have that back, but I got the Golden Age Cap, so it's cool. I have Batman #1, but I don't have a Detective Comics 27. But I have a Batman #1. Scottish Nerd. Yes, I am. Worth a read. We were where we could be heading. I'm going to be at the Wales Comic Con. So we're going to fly into Scotland and take the train, according to Mrs. Nerdrotic. Baptist 702. I still owe you some super chat reads that I will get to on a square up. I did find them, but I didn't think to bring them up now, so I'm sorry. So I got your email. Somebody else, and I'm forgetting now, asked on the Inquisition that I missed some super chats. I could not find them, so let me know. Email me, Gary@nerdrotic.com. Hollywood and SJWs better prepare for a serious fight from the fans if they fuck with Lord of the Rings. I would hurt somebody if they touch Gandalf. I'm right there with you. I will lead that charge. I will be with you. I don't need to lead it. I'll be with you. So thank you, Scottish Nerd, and thank you, Baptist 702. I'm right there with you. Vestigial Twin Wink for $4.99. Have you thought about consulting Cecil for action figure arrangement? Human Centipede display saves so much room. They do, but that is disfiguring Migos. And while I highly encourage Cecil to keep doing that because it's funny, I would not do that. I take stuff out of the package, no problem, but I do not. They're art to me. Those are art. Fine art. And I love Migos. Obviously. Look behind me. Joe Harney for $10. Great work thank you. Great work off topic. Can you tell the fans about J. Michael Straczynski's Babylon 5? Hopefully Disney and JJ don't do a reboot. P.S. I have tinnitus and your voice helps me through the day. Thanks. Oh, well, I'm sorry about the tinnitus and I'm glad. I'm sorry. My voice is starting to go a little bit because I've been talking a lot. Sorry. Hang on. Yeah, it's a Harry Potter mug. Sue me. Thank you, Joe. Babylon 5 will not get fucked with because it's in a bit of a rate. It's in an IP black hole where the people who own it are mad at Michael Straczynski, so they're sitting on it out of spite. I think that's the way he said it, and that's actually saving the show. It's keeping it pure from being repurposed. Right now, I don't want anything to be repurposed. Nothing. I would love to see Torchwood come back. Not now. Nope. Destiny Captain for $4.99. Don't know about California, Gary, but in Texas, I found Hitchhiker through PBS. Yes. So Hitchhiker was on PBS Radio, Destiny Captain. That's where, I'm sorry I didn't mention that. So the Star Wars radio show was on PBS Radio, and it was preceded by Hitchhiker. NPR, National Public Radio, but it was called PBS Radio back in the day. Your $5 super chat did not appear. Yeah, it did. Hollywood and SJWs better prepare for serious fight from fans if they fuck with Lord of the Rings. That one? Is there a different one? Baptist 702, let me know. Let me look up and see if I missed any. Nope. Nope, Baptist. I just didn't get to it yet, bud. So, Richard Duende, if I said that right, Duende, for $5. The best female doctor was Joanna Lumley from Curse of the Fatal Death. Yep. She is the best. Yeah. And she did the first thing any normal dude would do if he turned into a woman. Grabbed her boobs. That's what he would have done. She would have done. He would have done. Gary, watch Space Battleship Yamato 2199 and 2202 anime. I still need to watch those, Trevor. You're right. Thank you. Trevor RN for two Canadian pesos. I will. Best female doctor, Joanna Lumley. You got my word. I agree with that. Art of the Hero with Mike S. Miller. What's up, Mike? For $5. We're drawing Thundercats on Drawn and Quartered tonight. BlacklistUniverse.com, 7 Pacific. Hope you are doing great, Gary. I am doing fantastic, Mike. I hope you are doing well, too. I saw you on Ideas of Ice and Fire. His channel, some Game of Thrones stuff, some Song of Ice and Fire shit. I love that shit. You know that. So Mike S. Miller draws the Game of Thrones, does covers, does the Duncan Egg books. If you are a George R. R. Martin fan, as a matter of fact, I have, here we go. Mike, I'm sure you recognize some of this. I got to get to my camera. I just pulled this out of my storage. So I have every variant cover, everything. The Game of Thrones comics are fantastic. Good stuff. Art like that is dope. This is Alex Ross, whatever. Whatever. Yep. So this is the first one. It's just Game of Thrones. It's good shit. I always have comics near me. I do. Jay McKendry for $20. Hail, Gary. Love all you do, sir. Are you familiar with Who North American here in Indiana? Lots of Doctor Who merch, old and new. Well, let's ignore the newest, shall we? Keep up the content. I'll keep on watching. I am not familiar with the shop in Indiana. If I ever go to Indiana, I will go. Thank you for the $20. My next shop, I was seriously considering doing a Doctor Who shop up here. And it was going to be called Impossible Things. And I still might. But that's what it was going to be called. It was going to have big old... As a matter of fact, there's a TARDIS on eBay right now for $1,400 that's in Mountain View. I could go pick that up. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's a TARDIS. It's a big TARDIS. I just couldn't fit it anymore. My house is not... it's a house, but imagine it as like a condo house. So it's got the square footage of a big condo with a one-car garage. I don't have like big sprawling house. It's San Francisco. Believe me, I pay for like a mansion, but I get a house that was built in 1910. It was built 2 years before the Titanic sunk. This house. Eric Bowling for $1.99. Scott Alien trilogy get finished. Alien remake. I think he's still involved, Eric. I wish he wasn't. I wanted to see the Neil Bumpkin stuff, but that's just never going to happen. They can't get that franchise right. And quite frankly, I don't know if they ever can. It depends. They need somebody very talented, but Predator, Alien, I think it's time to realize that they were of their time. They're not something that people care about anymore. They can't modernize it. It could work with the talented person. They just can't find the right person to do it. Yeah. And you would think Ridley Scott would be the right person, but quite frankly, James Cameron probably would have been a bit, well, I wouldn't ask him now, considering what he did with Dark Fate. Gary, speaking of the 1980s TV show, do you remember a show called Under the Mountain? Think it was from New Zealand and based on a novel. I don't remember it. I don't. Under the Mountain. Thank you, Grant. I'll look it up, though. I'll look it up. Under the Mountain. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Let's see if I recognize this. Was this the 80s or was it no, this is new. Under the Mountain. I don't remember it from the 80s though. I know The King Under the Mountain. Okay. All right. So Grant, thank you, Eric. Thank you, Jay. Good to see you, Mike. All right. Let's get to the chat a little bit here. Under the Mountain was cool, says Brendan. All right. Thundercats Ho. I think Aliens or Predators need to go on TV as a limited series. That's probably where everything needs to go, Thundercats Ho. I would agree with that. I would love for them to take another shot at the Dark Horse comics, but take them seriously. And screw the humans. Yes, you did ask me about Bill Mantlo, Destiny Captain, but I can't remember what you asked. Just answer it in the chat. Quinn is on my channel almost every night nowadays. That's awesome. Yeah, he's got a great channel. Guy knows his shit, man. But yeah, I like him. He's very good. Tell him I said hi. He probably doesn't know who I am, but tell him I'm a subscriber and I like it. Just answer in the chat, Destiny Captain. What were you talking about, Bill Mantlo? Any SJWs who fuck with Lord of the Rings will have their fingers bitten off and be cast into the fires of Mount Doom, says Iron Duke 0775. Yes, so it shall be written, so it shall be done for $4.99. Jeff McKelvey, what is up, my man? Jeff McKelvey says, dude, sorry for the long hiatus. I just got done catching up with the Christmas sales. Knee deep in 7-foot Enterprise now. Nice. Sending you and Doomcock what I had promised you guys a while back. I would love a 7-foot Enterprise. You got to tell me how much that costs. But the wife would kill me. I could probably do like a 2-foot Enterprise or a 3-foot. Dude, that is awesome. Show me pictures when you're done. I want to see it. Thank you. And yeah, I'll let you know, cause the Expanse thing got pushed off, but thank you for sending that. I'll let you know. I'll give you plenty advance notice about the Rocinante. Okay. Smooth Jam, California, part 1, 5 pounds. Flying into Scotland. Is it Glasgow by any chance? Because if so, then I am buying you a pint when you get here. Don't want, to get too sappy here. 2 of 2, he says, for 5 pounds. But your content has helped me through some tough times the past few years, not just Doctor Who, and has inspired me to get back into doing YouTube again. Smooth Jam, California, I will buy you a cup of coffee. How's that sound? And let's meet up. I love hearing that. And I know what it's like because there's YouTubers out there and radio shows out there that have got me through hard times. And I'm glad I can help in any way, shape, or form. And yes, go back to YouTube. Do it. It's a fun hobby. Start it out as a hobby and see what happens. You don't have to change your life. Just podcast once in a while. It's great. It's fun. Smooth Jam, California. I believe it's Glasgow. I will let you know, and I'll buy you a coffee. I'll buy you a pint. I don't personally drink myself, but I'll buy you a pint. I got no problem doing that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Jeff McKelvey. Thank you, Smooth Jam, California. If you're taking the train, I hope you book 6 weeks in advance. Otherwise, they'll charge you 4 times as much. Morty Jones, that's good to know. I will let Mrs. Nerdrotic know that right away because we did not book it. No, and we probably need to book it right now. So thank you. I love saving money. How do we arrange to meet you up in Cardiff? I'll be getting on a train in Sheffield. Maybe the same train. If we can arrange it, I'll treat you and Mrs. Nerdrotic to lunch. Steve, I will let you guys know in advance. Let's shoot for March. When it gets to about a month away from the trip, I will iron out like rock solid details so everybody can plan. And yeah, I would love to meet you guys and gals. Like that's my favorite part of anything. So, and on that note, if you're in the LA area, I am going to be down there in 2 days. I am shooting a video. As soon as I'm done with that video, I can get my car back, which is hopefully tomorrow morning. I'm gone. And then at the end of February, I will be at Gallifrey 1, which is the largest Doctor Who convention here in the States. It's at the Los Angeles Marriott. Tickets are no longer available. Chris Eccleston's going to be there. Peter Davidson's going to be there. And so is Tosin Cole, but no Jodie Whittaker. No Jodie Whittaker. So you get to meet Christopher Eccleston, Peter Davidson. It'd be pretty cool. And I'll be walking around there. And you know what? I look forward to hearing from the Jodie bots exactly what I heard from the Dreckies at Star Trek Las Vegas. Absolutely nothing. None of them will come to my face, say any of that shit to my face. So I'm not worried about a thing. Not worried about a thing, because every little thing gonna be all right. Pansexuals are attracted to Spanish beard. Is my beard Spanish? Don't assume the race of my beard, John. I'm just kidding. My beard is Puerto Rican. No problem, Gary. I'm photographing and filming my 7-foot Enterprise project. If you care to check it out on Instagram at 3D Trekker. Oh, you got an Instagram. Good. Also working on Galactica. If you're still interested, I am. I want it. I definitely want it. Make it happen. I'll send you money. I want it. I want it. Did I tell you which one? If you're working on, like, whatever, just finish it and I'll pay for it. Okay. Train video. Oh, hell yeah. There'll be Astasia. There will be a train video. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. There's going to be a car video when I'm taking 101. So I'm going to do a live stream on Nerdrotic Live from Pismo Beach. Seeing that you'll be in the UK in April, will you come anywhere near Birmingham or Wolverhampton? I got to know where they are. Birmingham, I don't know. I know where that is. Maybe. Nicholas Horton, for you, I might make a trip to Birmingham. You've been around a long time, my friend. I think that we can make that happen. When I go there, I have to go to London. I have to go to Stonehenge. And then I want to go to Cardiff and look at the derelict Doctor Who experience, which will make me sad. All right, everybody, I'm going to call this one a day. I have to go make a video. It is 1:09 p.m. So this one went pretty long, 2.5 hours. That's how they are. So again, the Nerdrotic Nooner is back, ladies and gentlemen. Monday, Wednesday, no matter where I am, 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, they will be coming. I will be on the road, but all the live streams are still in play. I'm still doing the Inquisition. I'm still going to be live for Doctor Who. And I'm still doing Friday Night Tights. I'll just be in SoCal and have a better internet connection for StreamYard. So I will not color my beard. The Tick. We love The Tick. I didn't see a second one from Lady Gravemaster. Christy, I'll check real quick. Maybe it jumped on me before I go. Checking. God, I wish they had a search function. That would be so much easier. Talk amongst yourselves. Sorry. Okay, for $2. Iris, also check out Dan Vask metal cover Witcher. Iris, also check out Dan Vask's metal cover Witcher. Oh. Okay, so it's a metal. Okay, got you. Says Lady Gravemaster, and oh shit, there's a bunch. Yeah, okay, so I got to get these right now. Hang on, I'm not going anywhere yet. It jumped on me. Okay. Merrick Kodzeljit for I said that. I totally screwed that up. It's KOLDZIJAK. PLN 25 PLNs. What did you think of Edge of Tomorrow? I can't wait for the second movie. Manga is great too. I loved Edge of Tomorrow. I thought it was great. I can't wait for the second movie either. Kevin Willis for $2. How do you feel about Dave Sims' Cerebus? I loved it. I did too. It was like watching somebody go insane through his comic book. It was very, very good. Okay. And Lady Gravemaster. So I got your first one. I'm just checking to make sure I did, because I know you. Okay. And Jim Broadbent. Okay. So I got your second one. Thank you, Christy. Look at her doing her job. Now, if I did miss anybody, I owe Baptist 702 2 super chats. They will be done on Wednesday because I do have to get going because my car just called. But let me check. Okay, I didn't read this one. All right, Brian Snell. Why haven't studios made proper movie like Le Mortensen D. Arthur's since Excalibur? Why haven't they made a proper movie like Le Mortensen de Arthur since Excalibur? I don't know. But Excalibur is wonderful and we could just rewatch it. Hashtag Solo lost money. Cosmonaut. What is this? Cosmon for UETT. I'm just going to say Cos for £5. I have to say I'm interested in Sony Universe with Venom and Morbius. Any thoughts? Gearing toward Sinister Six. I like the Morbius trailer. I did. And I'm kind of liking what Sony's doing, which is back to basic shit. Avi Arad is not fucking woke. He might be a lot of things. A lot of people might get mad at the guy, but he's not fucking woke. And he's just making 90s, early aughts superhero movies, and that's not bad. It doesn't move anything forward, but it's not bad, and it looked like fucking Morbius, Michael Morbius. Yeah. And having Toby Spider-Man. I know a lot of people were saying it's from the PS4, and it was, but that was Toby Spider-Man from the PS4. Fuck yeah. Bring back Sam Raimi. Why not? Why the fuck not? You know what? Somebody brought up Doctor Strange needs a director. Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi. He's right there. You need a guy who can do horror. You ever see Drag Me to Hell? That was a horror PG-13 movie. Sam fucking Raimi should be doing Doctor Strange. Make it happen, Marvel. Make it happen. Then that will be probably my favorite comic book movie ever. Brody 36. No, a bunch jumped on me, so I'm sorry you had to pay for that. Did you get my last super chat for a Canadian $2? So now I got to look for that too. I'm not going to leave till these get done. So the new system, it sucks. I need to find something a little better because you have to refresh it, and I'm connected through this, so I don't like to refresh something I'm connected to. Brody 36. Brody 36. There he is. Come to Fan Expo Toronto. I sent an email. When is it? I'm doing a lot of traveling this year, Brody. I don't know if I can make Toronto. Let me check the email real quick. I really need a producer. Folks, I am officially hiring, okay? I need a producer and I need an assistant. I prefer you were local. It's not a full-time gig. You will get paid. This will be on the up and up. It'll be 1099, though. It'll be a 1099, so you'll be a contractor. I need help with answering emails, answering messages, and I need help producing content so we can build up the streaming. So I can focus on, I'll do the editing. I do the thumbnails. I'll do the content, but finding articles, getting guests, coordinating the shows, I need that. So I prefer a YouTuber to do that. Somebody who's very experienced on YouTube. Part of your pay would be exposure, but the other part would be fair. It would be money. So email me at gary@nerdrotic.com. Gary@nerdrotic.com and put job in capital letters in the email. All right. And I prefer that you don't have to be. You don't have to be local. Well, the assistant probably has to be local. I need to be able to talk to that person, but maybe we can work with it. As far as the producer, you don't. You can be anywhere, but you got to be able to work on West Coast time zone. And you kind of got to have to be at my beck and call. So send me an email about the job. If you're serious, we'll talk. Okay. Cause it's time. I need freaking help. God damn it. All right. So Fan Expo. Okay, Brody, I see it. With Bulls Trek? When is it? It's August? Yeah, because I have the Star Trek convention in August. Maybe. If it's with Bulls Trek, Brody, I would consider it. I kind of want to meet Bulls Trek. We'll see. We have time. We have time to think about that, Brody. My schedule is it's getting a little crazy. I'm going back to New York. I don't know if I'm going to make it into San Diego because I did not get tickets because I applied for media and I think they shot me down. I'm pretty sure they shot me down. Let's see. I'm checking right now, live on the air. San Diego Comic Con Press. Nope, nothing yet. We'll find out. Okay, back to you. Back to you, chat. Brody, sorry I missed that super chat. PM tweeted you a picture of Gandalf, says Norwegian Kryptonian, for 22 Norwegian krona. Let's take a look. Oh my God. I'm saving this one, man. Okay. That's hilarious. What the hell? Come on. Sorry, I'm looking for the picture now. I've got so many goddamn pictures on here. Let's do this. Print screen. See, this is why I need a producer, folks, so I don't have to sit through this. And you don't have to sit through this. Let's see if I can window capture this one. There we go. There you go. That's what they'll do. Yeah. We'll keep those out. That should almost be the thumbnail for this. Norwegian Kryptonian, I think I'm going to do that. I think that's going to turn into the thumbnail for this. That'll trigger a few people. Okay. Capture Renegade for £2. I hope Toronto works with Shatner before it's too late. I hope so too. Toronto. I hope Tarantino works with Shatner before it's too late. Yeah, I don't think he's going to, though. I don't think it's happening. I just was informed that Tarantino walked officially. Sir Billy Ritchie for $1.99. They need Richard Ayoade as the Doctor. I would be okay with that. Cracklin, $9.99. Recorded audio for my video for my channel about how to fix Star Wars Cinematic Universe, then played Fallen Order, and its plot is essential, the same as my idea. So what now? Move, go to something else. I don't know. But you're awesome, Cracklin. Thank you. Zabe for $2. Any Tricker said, put him on Friday Night Tight so he can kick your ass. Okay. Annie Trekker, listen, I suspect, Annie Trekker, I'm calling you out right now, dude. How could you not like Star Trek Discovery and like The Fall of Skywalker? That is an inconsistent argument. And I will just poke holes in your shit. Because if you're okay with anything that went on The Fall of Skywalker, but you were upset about Captain Pike being on the other side of a door when a ship explodes, where you had a complete meltdown, it's inconsistent. And all I'll say is on the side of the medication, it says it affects your judgment. It does. It says it right there in the bottle. And that's only because you said it publicly. Hail Gary, been here since 40K subs. What did you think of Prince Harry begging Bob Iger for a job for his wife, Meghan Markle? They gave up being royals so she can go get she was in Suits. She wasn't that great. I think it's pathetic for a royal to, why did they leave? I don't know. I like John Malin's theory that the Brits want to take over Canada again. I'm with that. That's the only reason that makes sense. I mean, they gave up being royals. Maybe there's something we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's getting the hell out of Dodge before a certain other royal gets in a lot of trouble because he liked to visit an island. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag Solo lost money. I wish they would rename Amazon's Lord of the Rings. It's Amazon's Middle Earth. It's the Second Age. Lord of the Rings is GOAT. Books and PJ movies. Yep.
It's still going to be about Sauron, though, and it'll probably be the elves of Eregion. The elven smiths of Eregion created the rings of power. Yeah. TJ Paris. At this point, the first female doctor should have been Forrest Whitaker in drag. Almost missed a previous super chat. No worries. Thank you for Expanse recommendation, by the way. TJ Paris. Yeah, it did jump on me quite a fucking bit here, man. Whoa. That was a nasty one. Jerry is a new member at the protomolecule level. Thank you. Sour Rhonda, says Fat Gad. says Fat Gandalf for $1.99. Sour Rhonda. LOTR and Hobbit Trilogy due for 4K release on June 25th. Is that true? Okay. Ditritus. I screwed up your last name. Is that true? I have been dying for those, man. I cannot wait. Mark it on your calendar. Kevin Willis for $5. Amazon can't change anything that Tolkien has written, so that's good. But they can add new stuff as long as it doesn't contradict what they've done before. I'm sorry. I said I was going to leave about half an hour ago and everybody left. And I'm like, I found a bunch of super chats. Terminius Establishment for $5. By the way, Kevin Willis, I'm sorry. Amazon can't change anything that Tolkien has written, so that's good. But they can add stuff as long as it doesn't contradict what's come before, which can fuck shit up. Still, thank you, Kevin Willis, for the clarification. In Mando episode 7, Quill hints that Cara Dune may very well be a genetically enhanced human. That must explain how she can beat men twice her size. Yes. And that would explain it. And that's all you need in canon. Okay. The Legion of Reason. All right. So if I missed any, I really do have to go now. I will run through and I will make up anything next Monday or Saturday. A week from this Saturday is my first members only hangout. So that is going to happen at a specific time. I will let you know. I've just been behind on shit. So the member stuff starts in a week from this Saturday. And until then, I'll be looking for some help and hope everybody had a great, had a great hump day so far. Mine's just beginning. I've got many things to do. So look out for 1, possibly 2 videos once the voice recovers in about an hour. And I thank you all for joining me. Thank you to the Nerdrotics. And do remember that not all who wander are, well, wait, hang on a second. Oh, okay. Not all who wander are lost. And goodbye. right, everybody. As the music winds down, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe to Nerdrotic Live. Please subscribe to your favorite channel, and please remember to like and share their videos. It's very helpful to all independent creators. And the next live stream, I need something to drink, will be Friday Night Tights. Take care.